And I think we're live. Good evening and welcome to yet another edition of Broadcast Avalanche. I know I'm as annoyed as you are, but things just keep happening. And yeah, if comedians don't comment on them, what even is the point of us? Don't answer that question. I am your host, Jonny Collins. I look like a rocker with a nose ring. I wear a two-way, but I'm not quite sure what that means. And when I walk, all the wind blows and the angels sing, but I didn't notice you, etc., etc. In the news this month, hello Morphe193, hope you're doing well. A total solar eclipse was visible in North America this month, and afterwards Google searches of the phrase "my eyes hurt" spiked following the eclipse. Turns out, if you didn't know, that even if 95% hidden, the sun can seriously damage your eyes if you're staring at it, which honestly, same. Stop perceiving me or I will shit in your eyes. Conservative MP and ex-minister Daniel Poulter has defected to the Labour Party, saying that he has concerns over the NHS and other public services. 14 years after he became a Tory MP. It took a long time to realise that. Daniel Poulter is the kind of person who didn't realise Darth Vader was Anakin Skywalker until 2019. Another part of the world, Japanese police have arrested a 36-year-old man on suspicion of tampering with Pokemon Violet save data. Meanwhile, American police would have arrested him for playing a post-Gen 4 Pokemon game. I tried to do research in which gen would be the funniest there. I would have gone with 2 because I'm fucking ancient, but there we are. Parliament have passed the Safety of Rwanda bill, with plans to deport the first asylum seekers to Kigali in July. Turns out all you need to do to declare something that is a thing that it objectively isn't is by passing a bill that says it is. And, I thought the Tories hated self-ID. Speaking of which, also thanks for the follow, a fish named Splashy. What a good name. A review into gender services carried out by paediatrician Dr. Hilary Cass has called for gender services to young people to match the standards of other NHS care, which under the Tories' NHS care means only waiting 18 months for an appointment and not 56. Everything's fun. Meta has lowered the minimum age for WhatsApp users from 16 to 13, presumably because the US politicians who lobby them are running out of underage pubescent girls to send pictures of their own genitals to unsolicited and need to expand the contact pool. And none of them know how to use Snapchat. In a speech on welfare, Sunak has set out plans to tackle what he describes as the UK's sick note culture by stripping GPs in England of their authority to sign people off work. In a response, Labour wrote their own sick note, citing that Sunak was clearly too much of a cunt to continue working as Prime Minister. They didn't do that, but could you imagine if they actually had a spine? That'd be brilliant. It's somewhat related news. Chris Stark, head of the Climate Change Committee, has told the BBC that Rishi Sunak has set us back on climate change in contrast to the progress made under Theresa May and Boris Johnson. How shit at your job do you have to be compared unfavourably to Theresa May and Boris Johnson? To be a more regressive politician than fucking Boris Johnson? That's like a lettuce telling you it respects Liz Truss more than you. Fucking hell. The Labour Party has at least pledged to renationalise most rail services within 5 years if they win the next general election. And mind you, they also pledged not to be fucking tribalist centrist nerds if Keir Starmer won the leadership in 2020. So, pinch of salt. And finally, the Earthworm was crowned the UK Invertebrate of the Year by Guardian readers, narrowly beating out Keir Starmer. Andrew wrote that joke, but it was too good, so I stole it. Thanks, Andrew. Best. But unlike Keir Starmer, you want to know who I would actually still love if they were worms? Our team captains. We've got Katie Mitchell and Kirstie Summers.
Hi.
Hi.
And on Katie's team, we are joined by the most delightful pair of nerds in comedy, and not the kind who rupture their bladder every time there's a woman in Star Wars. It's MABEL SLATTERY and Stuart Dunlop. And on Kirstie's team, a collective who look like they could either be the absolute best or absolute shittest indie band you've ever heard of. It's Ella, BAMBUST and Sully O'Sullivan. welcome everyone. Hope you're doing well. Also, thank you for your first time chat. A fish named Splashy, just saying Woims. Love you a lot. I don't know who you are, but you're my favourite.
Woims.
Incredible. So, how does this stream go? Katie, how are you doing? How's life treating you? Welcome to the show.
It's good. I don't know. I'm just getting through it. I wish it was warmer.
Yeah. Don't we all? Oh god, we are just going to be chatting about the weather for the next 3 hours, aren't we? Right. That would be better than the news. But do you want to describe your appearance for the case of anyone who might need that tonight?
I've got a quite pink round face because I've had a bit of a skin thing and I'm trying to heal it, but I'm still in the redness stage. So if you can't see, maybe a little bit for the best. I'm very shiny and I've got long black hair that's doing strange things because I'm using my partner's curly hair shampoo, and my naturally straight hair is desperately trying to curl, but it's just kind of going fluffy.
Your hair is an absolute mood right now. I understand. I understand how it feels. Amazing. Well, we put Katie's Linktree, blog and website on the chat. Have you got any cool shows or anything coming up that you'd like to share with the lovely people here today?
Yeah, so Club Wormhole, which is the alternative comedy club we have in Nottingham, we're doing a show on the 13th of May in our new venue, which is Nottingham Playhouse, which is very nice. The theme is dinosaurs versus vampires.
Incredible.
Nice.
I'm the dinosaur. I'm really excited about it. No, I don't. Honestly, no, it's fine. I don't want to be the vampire. It's nice to have a night off, you know.
They're doing the opposite of typecasting.
Yeah. Jonny plugged my website. Don't go on it because I'm in the middle of changing over websites.
Okay,
and it's embarrassing.
Ignore those links. Just use the link.
I think it's mainly just a large picture of me and nothing else.
There's definitely a market for
I was going to
that.
say that. There's 0% of our audience who would click on a link. There's a large picture of you and nothing else.
Given the amount of really fucking horrible websites there are, like the ones you spend all your time on are full of adverts and boomers being cunts. I think a website that's just a picture of Katie would be quite a nice, refreshing palate cleanser. Instead of spending,
I'm going to crowdfund the £40 a year hosting fee to get that one.
I feel like for the benefit of like waking up and not doom scrolling, just seeing Katie like smiling and being like, "Hello," I think that's a better start to the day. Like,
that's a step. I'm going to be honest. I think having it like as a bookmark, first thing you do in the morning, you click it and you just take a second, get your cup of coffee, and just be like.
That is the first step to world peace. There, I think. Just a picture of KatieMitchell.com. I think is.
You're making me blush.
Yeah, I do.
To be fair, Katie, we've said you're better than doom scrolling. It's a low bar.
Very nice.
And just be like, like having your breakfast stuff, just be like, oh, it's Katie. So much more positive.
Katie.
Why don't I just install like a screen in everyone's house and you can't turn it off, you can only turn it down. And
so you basically become Big Brother.
This is just 1984, but like in a cute way.
But nice. It's the utopian 1984.
Yeah.
It's Big Mother.
I'm pretty sure that's already a film of a very different genre.
Oh god, yeah.
Does it have to be a different genre, Jonny? Does it have to be?
Big Mother is watching you and wanking.
To give you the vibe of Club Wormhole, for our Christmas special, we did a 1984 The Pantomime.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
And Big Mother was the pantomime dame who was like in love with Winston. I was Winston, really cool. Principal boy, and I had long tights, and I used to slap my leg a lot, every single line. It was great.
Nice.
That sounds incredible.
In Nottingham, please come along. Especially because you've got a bigger room now at Nottingham Playhouse. So
yeah, you absolutely should. And Nottingham is far enough away from Manchester
guys.
that you won't be clashing with the Blizzard show that's unfortunately on the same day. But it's different cities, so whichever one you're closest to, go to. Although to be fair, I'm kind of sold. I might not even go to Blizzard. We'll see. Really, thanks very much for coming on the show, Katie. I'm also joined again by KIRSTIE. How are you doing? It's not been long since I've had you on the stream, but how are you doing anyway?
I'm good, yeah. I'm also annoyed at the weather. I feel like every day that starts off sunny, I'm like, yes, gonna go out on lunch and get some fresh air. And then it's pissing it down with rain by like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got my hope. Like, I feel like getting your hopes up over fresh air and then still being disappointed is just such a like, I'm not even hoping for much and I'm still getting kicked in the teeth.
It's that really annoying one where it's still like sunny enough that like if you wear a coat, you're sweaty, but like if you don't, it gets rained on. Also, when it's windy, it just feels like you're being stabbed by icicles. What stupid weather, lousy Maple weather.
Yeah, and I keep sort of like, reminiscing about previous Aprils where I already had like a tan line by now. And I was just like, I need to stop being so nostalgic for 2020. Like, it wasn't a good year.
Amazing. I've not even asked you to describe your appearance yet. Let's do that. Tell us what you look like.
Yeah. So I've got a round face and square glasses and a black hoodie with yellow strings and like a happy little devil guy on it. And I've got a very scruffy, faded green crest that I didn't do anything with, and it's decided to look as bad as it possibly can.
I mean, it still looks really cool. If that's your hair on an off day, I'm very jealous.
Oh, thank you. And like only if I turn my head this way can you see my sick dragon tattoo. And even though you won't see it because I'll be looking at you, I'm going to tell you about it anyway because I paid a lot of money for it.
Hold on, sick as in the tattoo is also the sick dragon as in the dragon is ill.
The sick to mean cool, Mabel.
Okay. It would be really weird if you had a tattoo of just like a really ill dragon.
Like, I need it. I need it right now.
The girl with the sick dragon tattoo.
I'm not averse to that, but
the sick dragon tattoo.
Don't know if I'd commit to it being on my face. Like, I feel like that's even more inappropriate for any situation I need to be serious.
See, a dragon tattoo works for the head area, but when it's infirmed, it needs to be more private.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a friend who's really into puns. Like, that is 98% of her personality. And the last 2% is porn. And she has a tattoo of like a one of those like ice boxes for for storing beers in, so that whenever she sees somebody's tattoo, she can go, "I love your tattoo, but I think mine is a little cooler." And she got it just for that. She does it every time.
That is really funny. I also thought you said pugs, not puns at the beginning, so I was really confused as to where that story was going to go.
Sick pug tattoo, bro.
Right, yeah. Thanks for coming on the stream, KIRSTIE. You've got a load of cool things going on at the minute, one of which we spoke about on the stream like 2 weeks ago. But let's remind everyone, in case they missed it, or the new people who follow.
But yeah, my band's EP is out if you want to listen to it. It's everywhere you get your music. All of the major platforms, and we have a music video. Like, we did one. We just recorded on a bunch. Dan has like a big box of mobile phones that he brought to the studio for rehearsal one day, and we filmed ourselves the day before I left for Manchester Punk Festival, actually, and I forgot all of my clothes. So I'm wearing like Becky's cardigan, Dan's hood, and James's trousers to fit the part. Because it was either that or like my work joggers. And like Dan's put some cool effects over it and mixed it with some like stock footage of like beer and murders, I think. And it looks sick as hell, given that we've done very much everything on a shoestring budget, but we just happen to have the most talented drummer in the world, which is why our production quality sounds a lot better than it has any right to be. Yeah, music video dropped yesterday. EP dropped a couple of weeks ago. And if you're in London, we're playing a gig on Wednesday, 8th of May. And if you're in Norway, we're playing in Tromsø in June. And I feel like very few people are in either of those places that are watching this stream. But like, that's all we have booked in at the moment. Please tell anyone who books Folk Doom that you want Cruel Mother to play, because we've just bought a bunch of t-shirts and I don't want to carry them as much as possible. I want them in as many people's houses as will have them as quickly as they will go.
Incredible. I mean, I'm just going to tell all the comedy promoters I know that I really want them to book Cruel Mother. Just do that.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's headline our Pride show. Fuck it. We'll just... Amazing. Well, thanks very much for coming back on the stream, KIRSTIE. I'm also joined by somebody who's not been on the stream in a while as well, MABEL SLATTERY. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. I'm very good.
Good to hear it. Would you like to describe your appearance for anyone who might need that?
Yeah, I am I have like a round face that is quite pink, and I have big round glasses and long curly hair that's half up, half down, and is some form of reddy brown. And I look a little bit like a Victorian ghost child who aged out of the pub. I got told at work the other day that I look like I'm 40, but I'm probably only 29, which is like the harshest part. So yeah.
Incredible.
So imagine that. Look 40, probably only 29. I'm 34, so.
So if you split the difference, it's not that far off.
Yeah, it's fine, you know. But wow.
Oh, amazing. Well, thanks very much for coming on the stream. I don't think if I asked. Oh, Jonny the Dean has subscribed to Prime. Thanks very much for giving us that Bezos bucks, Jonny. Even if you don't stick around to watch the rest of the stream, I appreciate it very much. If anyone's got Prime subscriptions that they're not using, please do chuck them our way. We are like pennies away from getting our second ever Twitch payout in 3 years of doing the show on Twitch. So if anyone just want to subscribe or cheer, that'd be really helpful. Thank you very much for that. Do you have any cool shows or anything you want to talk about coming up, Mabel, or just what's bringing you joy at the moment?
I don't really have much coming up myself, but if you are in Cornwall on the 25th of May, which is a Saturday, it is the open day of the Games Academy Expo at Tremo campus in Penryn, which is basically where you get to come along and play lots of student games. And so if you go to Falmouth University's website, you can book yourself some tickets for that. It's very helpful and gets lots of people to be able to keep making amazing games and get into the game industry, and things like that. My personal favorites last year were a game where it was a co-op game where you play two kids in a trench coat.
That sounds great.
I know, trying to take out drunks. That was a first year game. It was amazing. And you're trying to take out drunks in a bar. One that was a 3D printed haunted house. That was really cool.
Oh, cool.
And you had to haunt the house to make ghost hunters really scared. And an absolutely treat of a game called Seal Ordeal, where you were a bouncy seal bouncing through a seaside town. And it was just the best thing.
That does sound really cool.
You get to find lots of games that haven't been, that are brand new, and see where all the ideas are going, and it's a very fun day. And there are robotics you can look at and things like that as well. So
fantastic.
Yeah, that's my main pitch is.
Yeah, if we've got anyone in that area, do check that out. That sounds really cool. I definitely would be if Cornwall wasn't fucking miles away. But yeah, that sounds really cool. I am already sold. I'm already sold and kind of tempted, even though I definitely can't afford or have the time to travel that far. But yeah, that sounds really cool. Thanks very much for coming on the show. And another person who I don't think has been on the stream for like a year, we've got Ella BAMBUST. Ella, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm doing pretty good. I am 3 Copperbergs in and 3 sips of water in to just make sure that I'm hydrated as well. And yeah, I'm ready to fucking go. We're already running behind, but fuck it.
What else is new? Let's be honest.
It's everyone else's time we're wasting.
Exactly.
Would you like to describe your appearance for anyone who might need that? Although it looks like Pat's already gone on to that.
So you remember the annoying orange, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if somebody did that kind of face transplant of Daniel Radcliffe onto a very effeminate Q-tip. Other than that, I have belly button length hair. My headset has a couple of ferret ears on it that are glowing. I am wearing a shirt that says, "Now I am become Death Destroyer of Worlds," but in the Barbie font. And a shirt that makes me look just a little bit butch.
Incredible. Very, very, very far description. I mean, to be honest, I think just from the sound of Ella's voice, if you had to draw that based on vibes alone, I think that'd probably be remarkably similar.
Appreciate that. I think that's a compliment.
I definitely meant it positively. I don't know if compliment's the word, but positive. Cool. So well, if you got any cool things you'd like to share with us, have you read any more books?
I've got a couple of books that are almost done, almost coming out. Sometime later this year, I'm publishing The Flesh Cathedral, an erotic horror anthology. Well, anthology means several authors. Collection. Full of extremely transgressive transgender horror. I'm also releasing book 3 of the Verdant trilogy, which will be done soon. And my coming-of-age heist crime thriller, Loose Change. All of those should be done in the next 3 to 6 months. And other than that, just any of my old books. If you're ever questioning your gender, I've heard they've been described as a sledgehammer to your identity. So with a bit of luck.
What a quote. Amazing. Well, we've got the link to Clear Blue in the chat, as well as Ella's Linktree, where you can check out all of that. Stuff. Cool. Thanks very much for coming on the show.
Oh, actually, there's one more thing. This might be nothing. This might turn into absolutely nothing.
Sure.
But tomorrow I'm meeting 2 people to potentially start a new podcast.
Oh, incredible.
Ooh.
So I will keep you informed.
Amazing.
Next time I'm on here, I will either, plug it or not mention.
Incredible.
So that, guys.
Stay tuned for that.
Ella, how's that podcast going? And you're like, what podcast?
I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone.
There was no podcast. There never will be.
Podcasts aren't even real. What are you talking about?
No, I know. I make one, and I know that's true.
Incredible. Well, that's a nice segue into the next bit, actually. Also joined by Stuart Dunlop. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, yes. I'm just as nerdy as Douglas Adams, according to you, Jonny, from our previous interaction. So I'll 100% take that as a compliment.
I mean, just
people
like
who are
a caveat, I've not actually met Douglas Adams. I'm just going off vibes there.
Oh, that's fine.
He's dead.
Yeah, and to be fair, he's gotten a lot less nerdy since then.
Well, I'm not Score 1 Dunlop. For people who are listening to this Twitch stream and not actually watching the screen, I think my voice is self-explanatory, so I don't think I need any further evidence to back that up. But I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Good to hear. I don't know if you sent me any links, but have you got any... tell us about all the things you've got coming up and all the things that you want to share.
I've sent you hopefully a bit. They're in the chat hopefully. Shall I describe myself first, just to give a general vibe? So I am a petite man with a bit of a light bulb shaped head, which just adds to the nerdiness vibe. I've got brown hair and a circle beard, which makes me look like Stone Cold Steve Austin's disappointment of a son. Or I've had this one recently, a parallel universe Ricky Gervais, which I will take to mean I'm living in the mirror world.
The one that's actually funny.
Yes, exactly. I am wearing a sort of beige floral blouse and a black jumper, which basically makes me look like Susie Izzard couldn't be asked. I'm generally enthusiastic and probably going to be bouncing around the walls because I've had a coffee this late. So yeah,
incredible.
That's me in a nutshell.
What kind of coffee did you have?
Oh, just a standard black instant. Just I have no taste.
I have no taste, and more importantly, little money.
Speak for yourself. No. Somebody get the buzz going, get the mind coggling, the words flowing from the mouth. That's the plan.
Beautiful stuff. You have sent me a couple of links. So you want to tell us about the? So you got the Kia and Maxi Linktree.
Yep.
And also that other thing you mentioned that I've already forgotten.
Yep. So fair enough. So the Kiwa Maxi's Adventures in Everything, which is a podcast that I write, and I have an amazing cast who perform it. We've got 12 episodes out. on Spotify and SoundCloud. Just follow the link tree and you'll find them, and a couple of mini-sodes as well. We're going to start doing some expanded universe things with some of the side characters. So we've got a couple of those out. The 13th episode is on the slate. It's going to be out very soon, and I will give a bit of a Blizzard incentive to check it out. One of the guests for the next episode, in fact, the main guest, is a friend of Blizzard Comedy, Elliot Simpson.
Oh, lovely.
Who's doing the role they were born to play. I will leave it at that. I've been editing it, and it's been a lot of fun listening to Elliot. I've got like an hour's worth of outtakes of them just goofing around. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's Kyo Maxie's Adventures and Everything. I am the host of the Alternative Cobra Meeting Comedy Quiz, which Jonny hosted on my behalf last month.
I did, yeah.
And I've seen the footage, and I'm glad my job is safe. No, I'm kidding. We've got our next quiz is this Thursday. Come and play along on Facebook. Just play along, have a laugh. And KIRSTIE is going to be a guest for that. I'm just stealing all of your talent, Jonny. And then bonus little extra thing, I'm going to show the graphic, but it's also the Instagram for Side Quest Show, which is a great fantasy comedy series, like comedy improv show that I am a guest on. Let's see if I can get that on the graphic. It is I'm a guest on this. It's basically D&D improv. And it's hosted by a cacophony of Sheffield improvisers who are just amazing. And I am going to be a special guest on that in their homecoming show this Friday at Theatre Deli in Sheffield. It's free to enter, but you can get tickets in advance. And it's a great fun. If you love D&D, you love fantasy, and you want to just see some people fuck it up with ridiculous suggestions and prompts, then it is the show for you. I'm a massive fan, so it's an honor to be on it. So yeah, Side Quest Show, go and look for that. It's Friday in Sheffield. It's a great Friday night.
Incredible. Yep, I've got the SideQuest Instagram in the chat, as well as the link tree for Kira and Maxie. So yeah, definitely check those things out. Although after the show's done, it's very difficult to listen to a brilliant sci-fi comedy podcast whilst also listening to us talking about the very present state of bullshit.
Thank you for describing it, naturally saying it's a sci-fi podcast. I completely forgot to describe soft sci-fi comedy. It's surreal sci-fi comedy. That's the best way of describing it. So yeah, you like Hitchhikers, but you want it to be weirder. That's my show.
Incredible. Thanks very much. And last but not least, we've got Sully O'Sullivan. Sully, how are you doing?
Hey, right now I'm probably the opposite of Stuart. I'm 7 different types of exhausted.
Oh no! Which 7?
You know, I can probably explain that by just describing what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a Deadpool-themed hoodie because that's the level of vibe I'm giving off at the moment. I've been on the road for the last 10 days. So it's the first time in 10 days I'm actually in my house, mainly gigging down in the West Country. So I probably smell of the road, which for a vegetarian road comic is probably cheese and onion sandwiches, which I think is an acceptable thing for sandwiches to smell of, but not an acceptable thing for a human to smell of. So let's just all be glad at the fact that this is a strictly audio-visual medium and not an aroma-based one.
No, you've got to join the Patreon for that.
The olfactory augments.
Yeah. Fantastic. That does look like an incredibly cozy Deadpool hoodie, was it?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's yeah. If I nod off at any time during the broadcast, you know why? Just let me be.
Oh, thank you very much, Doug for subscribing. Yeah, some more Bezos bucks. Thanks very much. Keep them coming in. Fab. So yeah, you're on the road at the minute. Is that with your New Zealand show? You want to tell us about that, or is that just doing gigs?
I've just coming off the road with club gigs, but coming up this May, I've got 4 performance of a Complete Idiot's Guide to New Zealand happening at the Brighton Fringe. They are the 25th, 26th, and the 18th and 19th, just to do things in reverse, of May at the Brighton Fringe. And then there's also dates coming on a little bit later in Blackpool, Polperro Festival down in Cornwall, and at Farsley in Yorkshire as well.
Please send me the Polpero stuff, and I'll see if I can turn up because.
Absolutely. Well, and if anybody's wondering what the show's about, it's called A Complete Idiot's Guide to New Zealand. If you can't figure out what the show is about from that,
and it's the show for you.
That's right. Yeah, ironically.
Real quick, Twitch seems to be buffering real bad, which means a lot of the audio and screens aren't going to be coming through, so you might have to repeat some of that.
Yeah, just have to see how that's going. The Zoom is coming through fine, which is very unusual. But I'm getting a load of drop frames, so that's just we're just gonna have to kind of go with it and see it's all right. Hopefully it will even out a bit more.
It's New Zealand's vengeance. They've come for us.
I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but if everyone's Twitch has frozen on the same screen that mine has, we all look cute. So
that's cute. Yeah.
No one's pulling a weird talking face.
Okay. I am on mine. Okay, not anymore.
I just look bemused.
According to OBS, we are back in the green, so that should hopefully be fine now. Hopefully that won't dip again. It probably will at some point, but it should be fine now. I was going to say you should refresh if it's not loading, but you literally can't hear what I'm saying if you're stuck like that, so that will not help.
And then you have to watch another advert that we don't get paid for.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes.
For Planet of the Apes 4,
again for me.
Planet of the Apes 4.
Blurry.
Great, the Earthling. Bad Twitch, we said buffet. Incredible. Cool. Well, I think we're going to have to just start the show and hopefully it won't dip out again. But yeah, it's looking fine now. It did drop to like 0 kilobytes per second for a little bit there, which I was concerned about. But it's now back up to like 4,500, 5,000. So hopefully that should be all right. But we did manage to drop like 7,000 frames in like the last minute. So I don't know if they got any of that, but we'll see. It just restarted. Cool. Okay. Hopefully we'll be right. Cool. Right, we're 12 minutes late. Let's start the actual fucking show. So our first round is called Fake News because we are nothing if not transparent. In this round, each team will be given 3 headlines. 2 of them actually published in the last month. 1 of them made up by myself, and it's down to the teams to identify which headline is the fake one. And yes, I am aware Joe Lycett planted a bunch of fake headlines this month. Thankfully, he admitted to that during this month, so we didn't have an embarrassing situation where we because I cannot stress enough how little research we do for this show. Do not use this as a source of actual news. Right.
The real prank was Joe Lycett going out of his way to fuck up our game. Doesn't actually care about the shitty newspapers.
The H from Steps statue one very nearly made it in, but thankfully he admits that before. Right. Okay. So we're going to start with Katie's team. Your 3 headlines are. Milan poised to ban ice cream, pizza, and more after midnight in new proposed law. Police called to arrest armed man who turned out to be Star Wars cosplayer. And mass blocking of Elon Musk on X by Tesla customers after Cybertrucks were recalled. I'll post these in the Zoom chat as well so you can see them a bit clearer.
I immediately gravitate, not in terms of an answer, but just in terms of thought process, to the Milan banning pizza and ice cream. I literally, last week, was the best man at an Italian friend's wedding. And I make no shame or pretense in saying that their family was the most stereotypical bunch of Italians I'd ever met. And they were great. They were absolutely great. But I'm now just envisioning them just like, doing the Darth Vader Star Wars. Just no. They're not even from Milan. That's the thing. But I'm sure they're outraged at that.
Say,
it's a big and dangerous night for people from Milan who are Star Wars cosplayers and are very upset with their Cybertruck. People are having an awful time.
I'm imagining this leading to like the equivalent of like American Prohibition. We've just got pizza speakeasies and like you knock on the door 3 times.
Calzones count because that's the way you literally putting it under the rug.
The code word is a mozzarella margarita.
I love the idea of them doing calzones and being like just having an old Cornish bloke coming out going, no, they're pasties. Nope, no calzones here. Nope, none of that.
Like a proper traditional Cornish pasty with the pizza in one end and the ice cream in the other.
Yeah. Like a Napolitan ice cream with the 3 different.
Oh, that's just cold clotted cream. That is. That's
that's what that is.
No ice in that whatsoever. We just put it in the fridge for a while. Set the fridge really low. It's nice and simple.
Tell you what, getting a combined oven and freezer was definitely something difficult.
The Italians are very ingenious. They're very intuitive. They can. Yeah. Hello, Giulio. By the way, I hope your marriage is going well after a week. Don't know why. It'd be awful if it like wasn't. That. Yeah. Don't know why I phrased it like that, but
all of the family writing very stern letters.
It all went downhill after the prohibition in Milan. Is this due to rowdiness? Is this just due to like in the equivalent of like pub curfews here? Oh yes, of course.
That natural pizza caused rowdiness.
I don't know. So I was in Cardiff last month and ended up being out on the town after a rugby game. And there is a lane in Cardiff that is just chip shops and people eating chips and also urinating at the same time. Like, it's astonishing. Yeah. It's just a lane full of chip shops.
That sounds like any major English city or British city in general summed up in the just you could have said any other city other than Cardiff and I would believe you.
You don't understand. Like I travel a lot as a comic. I'm out late at night in a lot of the cities in the UK. I've never seen anything like it was a whole street of just like normal chip shops. There wasn't a Nando's or like a kebab place. It was just chip shops selling the same chips. Wow.
Certainly a GB News team is heading to the scene like, this is the last haven. We advertise this as the last haven of British cuisine.
What do you mean fish and chips are Jewish?
Oy vey indeed.
The second one, I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me if this was like an American one where it was just a white woman phoning about a black child. Like there's an armed man. He's dressed in some kind of black cape.
It'd be funny if he was dressed as one of the more innocuous, like if he was. I mean, if he was dressed as Jar Jar Binks or something, like or Snoke or some of the like weirder looking ones.
There's a Caribbean stereotype. But an alien. He simply can't be having this in this lovely neighborhood.
Given that you're both self-proclaimed nerds, are there any major like Comic-Cons or something like that on at this time of year?
God knows.
We can like.
I can't speak on behalf of Star Wars because it is kind of a franchise I never like got massively obsessed with. I actually
history nerd.
I did get
the wrong kinds of nerds for your team. Sorry, Katie.
Yes,
you're nerds, not geeks.
If it were Ace Attorney, then I'd be right on it. If it goes to trial and a parrot is involved, then I'm probably going to be on point here. But
you know when to shout objection at exactly the right time.
Exactly. I can't believe that one. That one does seem very plausible.
I just can't believe that blocking someone on Twitter would be a news story. I know it is in the current thing. I'm just in disbelief that it would be.
I want it to be true because I like the idea of lots of people blocking Elon Musk just generally.
I think I blocked it when he took over, and it's like a 2-second thing. It's not a protest.
Yeah, but not in. Elon Musk sees it as a like bloated.
I'm going to say I love people that are like, when you say you're not going to do something and they're like, how dare you boycott this? They're like, I just don't want to do it. Like, you know, I don't want to piss on the road, but that's not boycotting urination. That's, you know, I don't live in Cardiff. Yeah, exactly. I don't live in Cardiff. So
that urine is filling our potholes.
Oh dear! I'm kind of.
You're not a great British patriot.
Well, I was at an Italian's wedding last week, which probably wasn't too kosher.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I wonder whether Jonny is Jonnying us. And
one thing to say about Jonny Collins, they do love to Jonny.
I want to add that to the dictionary. That needs to be a defined term now. Come on, at least Urban Dictionary. Someone make it on Urban Dictionary.
And it's actually Milan is poised to ban ice cream, pizza, and more after a different time.
Oh,
No.
Like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. thing.
So you're thinking that's the fake news by a technicality?
Yeah, I wonder whether one of these is fake news by a technicality, and also looking at Jonny's face, that might well be the case.
It's not Milan, it's Napoli, is what you're saying.
Something like that. Yeah. And actually, Naples would be a place to do it because Naples has like a very, very high like pickpocketing like issue.
See, there we go. Mabel's the European nerd. We get that.
No, I only know this because we were the first when I went on a school trip to Italy when I was 13. So granted, it was a long time. It was like 20 years ago. When I went on a school trip to Naples, and we went to Naples, and we were the first British school to have gone to Naples in like 30 years because the pickpocketing was so bad that just wouldn't go there.
I will withdraw my European comment for Mabel as well, because my profession is literally using European languages, so I can't say anything.
You're European nerd.
I spend more time reading German and Portuguese than I do actual English, so I can't say much. I'm gearing towards the Milan one, weirdly. I mean, I just expect Twitter to be a hive of people doing stupid things. So you say something's happening on Twitter/X, I will believe it. I 100% will believe that someone I don't know, like recites Dante's Divine Comedy backwards while farting it on the face of David Attenborough. I would believe it. Someone did that on Twitter. Yeah, that makes sense.
Jerome actually did that last year.
Oh, I missed that event. Yeah, that's probably why I was in my mind. Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Milan one.
I'm not entirely even sure why. I'm just like, why not? I, honestly, all of them are very believable. So Jonny has done a spectacular job. Although
I feel like maybe even the Star Wars one is a bit like that feels a bit generic in comparison. So I feel like that might be the law of the least absurd law. I know what you being the one that we're being caught out with.
Part of me always thinks that instead of a Star Wars cosplayer, it's a Fallout cosplayer because of the new series. I don't know. I find the Milan ice cream one the most believable, so I'm diametrically opposed to my team, which puts me in.
Milan are very into their fashion, to be fair. So
I'm happy to go with the dictatorship of Katie.
Opt
for whatever you go for, but I'm thinking the Milan one.
We're going to give democracy a chance before we fall to fascism.
That's the way. That's always the way.
Which do you guys think is the most likely to be the fake? Is it it's the Milan one?
Oh, I want to say the Star Wars one now. No, I'm going to go with my gut.
Late. Shall we go with the Milan
pizza?
One?
Milan, sure.
Yeah.
You say Milan is the fake one?
Jonny, Milan.
Milan is real. The fake one is actually the mass blocking of Elon Musk, unfortunately. Milan.
I wanted that one to be true so much.
That is really good.
To be honest,
really
it may very well be
technique.
true, but it wasn't newsworthy if it was.
No,
Milan are in the process of
enjoy it for free. It's not. Sorry.
Milan are in the process of banning ice cream, pizza, and other assorted fast foods after midnight, although they've not specified the date or when they can start eating again, so best stock up early. Police were indeed called to arrest an armed man who turned out to be a Star Wars cosplayer, which is, if anything, an even worse offence. But no, there was not enough. I'm saying that joke to the wrong fucking audience. But no, there was not an uptick in people blocking Elon Musk on X in the wake of the Cybertruck recall, because nobody actually uses X anymore apart from Musk himself, and he's too up himself to even dream of blocking himself. So no points, no points there, I'm afraid. Right, we'll move on to KIRSTIE's team now. Your three headlines are: British passengers on Turkey flight drink the plane dry in under half an hour.
That's totally believable.
That's real.
We
that's
definitely did.
We can just cross that one off now, fine.
I was on that plane.
European screeching competition declared void after champion caught lip syncing. And
you know what?
And it's fine to call your boss a dick, but only if you do it once, court rules.
All right, I want that one to be true.
I want that one to be true.
Just so that I have a legal defense for when someone inevitably catches me talking shit about work on this show, in the pub, to my Uber driver, just to strangers on the train. I don't need like alcohol or anything. I'm drinking tea today and I'm already about to start. I need this one. Okay.
Yeah, the court boss one sounds, but because these days they have to give you a warning for pretty much everything. It's very little that they can file for you first, no matter how ridiculous it is. They have to warn you at least once, and then they can do you for it. So
here's my thinking. The European screeching one feels fake, which means knowing Jonny, that one's true. And one of the other ones is like British passengers on an Arab Emirates flight.
See, what this game has become is it stopped being let's guess the fake headline, and it's let's figure out which way Jonny is trying to fuck with it.
It's like, how sneaky is Jonny?
Which of these jokes Jonny wrote?
Always been the way I play this round.
You're not playing the game. You're playing the players. You have to play. The house always wins.
Ella just called me a player. I'm taking that.
But yeah, that's my thinking. It's not a turkey flight or was it our? Go ahead, Sally.
I feel like the flight one, absolutely possible. I've been in enough holidays, friend group holidays, that see the plane as the first hurdle to how shit-faced you can get.
I think we're missing one piece of crucial information, which is what the airline was.
Yeah, because if it was if it's one of those airlines that have really limited alcohol because they mostly service dry countries, that's going to be not even newsworthy.
And I don't even think, I don't even think that would happen on a British Airways flight. But we all know if it's EasyJet or Ryanair, 100% chance that this is real.
Yeah, I believe Ryanair. And I'm going to say United Emirates for the simple fact that I know British people cannot be normal when they're going to the Middle East.
I feel like we are all familiar with the airport pint, that even if your plane is at 7 a.m. and you have got up very early to be in the airport at 5, you have your airport pint as a rite of passage before you go on holiday.
Yeah.
That is just how it is. And that, I just feel like that one feels so obvious that the reason I think it's fake is because it definitely happened. Probably
but the details
to the point.
Are different.
Yeah, either the details are different or it happens so often that it's not newsworthy.
Not news.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy to go with that logic. I do have to go with that logic.
The real story here is Dickhead Airline failed to account for the amount of British alcoholics on their flight.
Yeah, rewrite the headline, rewrite it.
Somebody in chat said Turkey passengers on British flight gobble the plane dry.
That's a different headline.
So, the screeching competition, I can definitely see.
Same.
I can see that being true, but it could also be it could be switched for it's not European, it's something else, or it's not screeching, it's black metal growls, something else weird that
one could argue that is a distinction without difference.
Maybe
you clearly didn't watch the daughter stream the other week. There's very, very, very different techniques.
And I guess the last one, you can call your boss a dick, but only if you do it once. Is that
one
like,
feels? I think that one's real.
Yeah, that one feels real. It's like, okay, you've been upset, or unless it's like actually it's a 3 strikes and you're out. You can call your boss a dick twice, but like.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you look how it's written, it says it's fine to call your boss a dick, but only if you do it once, not if you only do it once. I mean, even if you call your boss a dick 24 times, you've done it once.
Even if you call your dick boss, like your dick's going into
sorry, I know it's not my team, but I like the idea of a judge being forced to like reckon with this and going like, "Fuck's sake, fine, you can do it once." We're so fed up.
Maybe the judge made his decision based on who the boss was.
Yeah. This is another
you
Tesla
call your
story,
boss specifically a dick.
SpaceX, whatever. It's like,
if your boss is this person, you can call him a dick.
What if it wasn't like a thing that was decided after the fact, but like a guy went up to like a judge and was like, "Can I call my boss a cunt?"
Preemptively? Yeah.
And he was like, "All right."
I feel like
how many times?
If you write in like legal questions to certain barristers, they have to answer you. So maybe it's like that.
Yeah, maybe they found out like, yes, you can, but
like
now that I know this, I have so many questions.
I feel like I'm trying to do the steps backwards from this story becoming a story, and it's like, so someone called their boss a dick, but in order for it to get to court, I guess they had to get like sacked, and then instead of just getting another job, they went through all the hassle of going through like an employment tribunal, where like at that point, multiple people had to sit down and like write out in legal terms like what happened and like why it's a problem. And I love. I want this one to be true because I love the idea of that much effort going into, you called me names.
You have evidence that said boss was a dick.
Yeah.
Was the boss a dick? That's my...
the only question,
The real story is it's fine to call your boss a dick, but only if it's true. And we get like a witness statement.
It can't be liable if it's demonstrably true.
Yeah, we need to have proven in court that your boss is a dick, and then...
Right, what
and then
you
get a certificate saying like this guy is a dick.
Like a free pass.
Each of your employees is allowed to say it once.
Yeah. I know you've got your show going on, Jonny, but we're doing our own thing.
That's fine.
That's a fine balance.
I'll go get another drink if you're doing that.
By the way, Jonny, you're a dick.
Right, okay, that's Sully's first one. Everyone else has one. Sully does another one. He's getting kicked off.
I'm saving mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, I'm just gonna hold on to it. Just keep that.
You're gonna hold on to your dick.
Hold on to your dicks, lads.
lads.
Right.
So after all that, I am no closer to knowing which one I think is fake.
I want to say the first one.
You want to say the first one?
It's got too many details for Jonny to fuck with.
I'm going with the European screeching because I still can't figure out the mechanics of how you fake the lip syncing in a screeching competition. I just like it's a technical question. I can't compare.
I feel like it's much the same to like lip syncing to anything else. Like just someone plays a recording of a scream that you didn't do.
So you think you've got somebody else like
they had to have like they had like a mole.
Yeah.
Somebody who is screeching backstage in like an added room.
So like backup support screeching.
I do love the idea of like this screeching competition being like such high stakes to someone that they've like bribed a techie to like play a different scream. I'd love it if they got caught because they played the Wilhelm scream. And everyone was like,
I recognise it. Yeah.
I've heard that before.
It's also not a very loud scream, really. It'd be embarrassing if that one. Right, so what are you going to go with?
But I think we're all fine with the dick one. The dick one's definitely real.
You can cross that out. The dick one's true.
The dick one's real.
Watch that one be the fake one, because Johnny's like, they're going to fucking love this one. I feel like I might have talked myself into leaning into the screeching competition, just because I think bribing a techie to play a scream might have
it's charmed you.
But yeah, it feels a bit.
You think techs have a code that they're not willing to cross?
No, I feel like I don't know. I don't know if does anyone care enough. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a comedy panel show, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I take it very seriously.
In your professional comedian's opinion, which one of these three is funnier?
Well, I think the screeching one. I think the flight one. That's just so plausible.
Kirstie, does that also mean that if it's not the screeching one, that real life is funnier than Jonny?
I mean, that is usually the way these go. Yeah.
I mean, we're doing a topical comedy panel show in a world that's beyond satire.
Yes,
that's very true. Apologies,
my
Jonny.
preparation for this show at this point is just looking at the news and being like, I'm just going to actually get upset.
The show was 3 days of weeping.
I just live in a bunker.
Right. So what are you going for?
Does anyone have any massive objections if we go for the screeching competition?
I don't have massive objections. I just think you're wrong.
I mean, it could well be.
It sounds like the general team consensus is that's the fake one. Is
that's fine, yeah.
Is
that what you're going for?
I think so. Yeah.
You are correct. So you can rest easy. No, you were right. That was the fake one.
I've never been more glad to be wrong.
When you kept nudging, I was like, no, Ella's definitely smarter than me. I've got to be wrong.
Tell you what,
please don't fall into that trap.
Tell you what, it was very difficult to not say because I did know that was the fake one.
Yep.
The amount of times I feel like Jonny must live in my head because they give the other team all of the questions I know the answers to.
I do think about that a lot. Yeah.
Well, I knew this one because as someone from a place with lots of seagulls,
that's the one.
European seagull imitating competition is very important to me.
Kirstie, it is part of my literal professional performance to seem like I know what I'm talking about at all times. I don't. Please. I need to come off as knowledgeable and intelligent for my job.
The British passengers on a Turkey flight did indeed drink the entire plane dry in under half an hour. It's nice that we get to showcase our one skill every now and then. A court in Madrid has ruled that calling your boss a dick is not a sackable offence so long as you only do it once. So make sure you make your opportunity count and don't just waste it like SULLY did in the first round. Mabel's right. The European screeching competition was not voided due to any lip-syncing controversy. It was won fair and square by a 9-year-old dressed as a seagull, and all our lives are better for it. So at the end of that round, Kirstie's team have 3 points and Katie's team are on 0. We're meant to be finishing the second round now, and we're just starting it. It's gonna be a long night, everyone. Okay, our next round is propaganda. None of that fake plant-based gander all them wokes are spewing these days. Grr. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. In this round, each guest will take on the role of a certain publication, broadcaster, or forum, and reinterpret some of the news stories of the month in that style and voice. So we are going to have Katie, who is going to be the editor for Hippie magazine. Kirstie, I've just given Blizzard Comedy's website because I think she's earned just a platform to just bitch about stuff that she wants to. Mabel is fine-tuning lovers. Ella is the moderator for r/Tories. Stuart is the editor for the Travel magazine, and SULLY is the editor for Anarchy magazine. So I'll read out these headlines. It's a free falls, just come in whenever you've got some. The first headline is Lawrence Fox ordered to pay £180,000 to 2 people he called paedophiles.
Nah.
It's just another case of cancel culture gone mad, isn't it?
Libel damages enough to actually feel full at a Heston Blumenthal restaurant.
Yeah. Lawrence Fox gets small fraction of the comeuppance he deserves.
You don't have to pay 6 figures to go on this pedo hunting tour. Destinations include Vatican City and the House of Commons.
Here's how this is actually trans women's fault.
A free individual has been ordered to pay 180,000 meaningless promissory notes created by the very same authoritarian power that issued the notes.
Couples are flocking to this hotspot where they can mock and deride a failed comedian.
Katie, do you have one?
So there's like this fox, right? And he's just having a conversation, man. And when I talk to foxes, it's nice. I don't even have to pay them 90 grand from my trust fund. And I don't know, the whole thing's crazy. You should look it up.
You're too good at that, Katie.
Thanks. I had a weed once in art school.
Here's how this is actually Jeremy Corbyn's fault.
Okay, any more for that one? No, okay, next one. Labour promises real nationalisation within 5 years of coming to power.
Labour promises deemed empty without ban on train sandwiches.
Tony Blair Tribute Act again promises stuff he won't actually do.
Is Kirstie the same there?
Letter from reader. Why isn't there a train to Benidorm yet?
Who needs trains when you can just get a thick hippie van? You can fit 80 people in, and it runs on old chip oil.
Labour promises rail nationalisation within 5 years of... Well, we all know it's not happening.
Okay, any more for that one?
Why aren't there any vegan options in the first-class carriages? It's just Katie now, but like, why aren't there? It's the posh twats. Can I eat anything? Can I fuck? Anyway.
Because we have a semblance of taste.
In 5 years' time, you in the North can also enjoy a made-up high-speed rail experience.
Okay, next one. Liz Truss backs Donald Trump to win US presidential election.
Who wants to do the cabbage one? Come on.
Liz Truss continues to have the worst possible take to try and stay relevant.
Sorry.
You go.
Scientists discover that you can educate pork, but it makes it less palatable.
Trump Tower declared vacay stay of the week for very short stints.
Truss expanding her collection of Boris Johnson lookalikes.
Hero double agent who killed the Queen sets sights on the
Excitement for latest tourist attraction in America, the Pits of Hell.
Oh, the Pits of Hell is a very, very good Michelin-starred restaurant. That,
exactly, yeah.
Everything is cooked on brimstone. Very, very nice.
No pizza after midnight, though.
No. More ice cream.
Empowered woman enters womb goddess mode and goes super powerful. I lost it halfway through.
Liz Truss and Donald Trump seek tomato to finish their sandwich.
Okay, any more for that?
This would have lasted even longer if it was organic.
Okay, any more for that one? Okay, next one. Squatters take over Gordon Ramsay's £13 million London pub.
You can squat in a much more affordable pub if you go to the Cotswolds.
Children these days looking for handouts pull themselves up by the... Hold on.
Back up.
Squatters reveal new tasting menu, mostly bread.
They are operating it as a cafe. They're operating
that's
it
so
as a
base,
socialist space.
That's really cool.
That's actually correct.
But if they do so, I'm sure it will get a stellar review in our backup magazine.
Gordon Ramsay disgusted by people in his pub who look like they belong in a pub.
Viva la revolution! Operation Late Stage Capitalism has begun. You've got your orders, which you can choose to follow or ignore, because everyone has autonomy, so they're not actually orders. Anarchy.
Just tear this magazine up.
Co-owned worker cooperative open new restaurant in London.
Hey.
Nice.
This pint is fucking raw because they don't actually have the electricity to heat it up.
Okay, any more for that one? Okay, then last one. John Cleese's cancel culture show has been cancelled.
Britain finally declared
Go on, Stuart, sorry.
Sorry, Kirsty, yeah, no, valid.
That was it, I'm done.
Britain once again declared best tourist attraction for actual comedy.
Some good news actually happens.
Here's how this is the worst thing to have happened to England.
But if your cancelled TV show gets cancelled, it's kind of zen, right?
And in music news, Alanis Morissette is due to re-release her 1996 hit Isn't It Ironic? And this time it actually is. I realise that's got nothing to do with anarchy, but as an anarchist,
Alanis Morissette founded the anarchist movement.
Preview: the wines John Cleese will be selling to pay his alimony.
This hotel's bathroom has pictures of Eric Idle pointing and laughing.
Nice.
No, but every time you look at it, you have to pay Eric Idle 50 quid.
Someone get this man in a room with Graham Linehan. Together they can afford a lasagna.
Oh, they can compete for world's most divorced men.
Are we done with that one?
It's go ahead.
Crazy how the silent majority have got no eyes to watch the TV. Makes you think.
Katie, did you try another weed?
I would like to buy one weed, please. I have a coupon.
My good barkeep.
I did lie. I didn't have a weed in art school. I had one during lockdown, an edible, and then there was a police chase through my garden, and I got very frightened, and I've not done them since.
That's adorable.
They weren't. They were just going to arrest a guy, but like.
Did he have any weed?
It's a very frightening thing to happen.
Whenever, so I live in Zone 2, where there are cops all the fucking time. Because I'm in Lewisham, which is right next to Peckham, where there are cops all the fucking time. And whenever I'm out on my bike, I cannot go for a bike ride without a police car coming past me. There's also an ambulance depot and a fire station very, very close to my house. lots of sirens go past me when I'm out on my bike. Every single fucking time, I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? Did they see me jump a red light that had no one crossing at it? Like, every single time.
They've seen your rants on this show, Kirstie. That's the problem.
I hear sirens go past my house, and I think, oh, Camborne.
Whenever I hear a siren, it's just like, I've done something. I must have.
It's definitely me.
I've fucked off someone. I've pissed off somebody on Twitter or something. I said something I shouldn't have. They're coming to fucking kill me.
As a member of our Tories, I'm assuming you said something like you're proud of being English.
The thing that really got put to me for like people coming down here how much people really get freaked out by how many helicopters go over because they assume they're all police, and normally it's the air ambulance. So if you hear a helicopter go over, it's like, oh, someone's hurt. But like it's but for everyone else, it's shit. What have I done?
I'm going to take this as a sign that we finish this round. And
yes.
So
we're just doing anecdotes now.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally what the break is for. Let's just get into the break now. Yeah. So at the end of that round, Katie's team are on 4 points and Kirstie's team are on 5. It's all meaningless. Our next round is called Fuck Off and Go for a Piss. Every single one of you will be scored based on how efficiently you can piss in the next 10 minutes. And if you would like to bribe me into a higher score, why not subscribe to our Twitch, cheer, or donate to our PayPal, the funds of which will be split between these lovely nerds next week. I'll pop our PayPal link in the chat, but also, yeah, if you do want to donate on Twitch, we are actually near the payout limit, so that would actually be helpful.
I'm going to go buy another Rattler. That's my
break. Sounds like a plan.
Go down to Co-op and buy another Rattler.
Buy another Rattler? You have like a bar downstairs? Or...
the Co-op is literally
nice.
So, so I can do it in
Go for it.
So that's happening now.
I absolutely cannot.
I'll see you in a moment.
I'll see you all in half an hour.
I'm gonna test this while we're alive on screen and on camera. Is this still too bright? Yes, it is.
That is way too bright. You're being abducted.
Stuart coming live to us from the surface of the sun.
I want to know.
Don't look at the eclipse.
Why does Twitter? Why does Zoom have an AI companion button?
I don't know. Everything does now.
Summarizes the meeting. I want to see a summary.
Oh yes, no, Jonny, you have to do that at the end.
What does the AI think?
Post it online.
Okay, let's see what it does. Fuck it. Is this going to complete? I think this might fuck up everything. Wait.
Okay, well then.
Let's enable that. Yeah, got it.
It's like AI.
Right. Close that. Okay, there we are. I fixed it. I think it's still on. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little AI thing in the top right.
So
meeting summary.
It's asking if I'd like to leave the meeting because of the AI companion. And kinda.
I've just checked the Blizzard Twitch stream to see if we're still okay and if there's any issue, and I got an ad for Welcome to Wrexham, so I am upset.
Right, I'm going to nip to the loo and then get another drink.
I'll get myself some port, I think.
Ooh.
I know.
No fancy. So how's everyone doing?
Doing fine.
The other thing I do when I'm riding my bike is I have my headphones in because I like listening to music while I ride. Except I listen to a lot of punk songs that are about how shit the police are, and they sample sirens. So every so often I'll swerve to the side of the road thinking I need to get out of the way for an emergency services vehicle, and it's only in my headphones.
Yeah, I've had that in the car before, especially when it's a faint one, when it's just like a sort of faint sample in the background, and yeah. I mean, if it's Goldie Locker Chain going whoop whoop, it's really obvious. But
I listen to podcasts while I'm doing shows and stuff, and I was doing it once when my wife was out and just doing something else, and I was listening to a sort of improvised kind of comedy podcast, which I'm a big fan of, and I can't remember what they were doing. They were set the thing was set in a diner or something like that. The scene they were doing was set in some kind of restaurants or something like that, and so they had background sounds that they put in post-production after the improv to set the scene. And I swear one of the very faint background voices that I was hearing sounded the spit of my wife. And so every now and then I would like have to pause the podcast thinking she'd just come through the door. I kept podcasting. I kept literally alone in my house. I kept going, yeah. You're right.
I've had the exact same thing. There's a song, well, a piece of music from an album that's like very heavy synth and industrial sounds in the background that otherwise like very orchestral and like uses giant organs and so on. It's a very neat combination. But there's one track where it took me way too long to realize there's like a in the background that's only coming from one side. And at the time I was, in a room where that was the door to my like room was on that side. So that track came on and it was like, and I would pause it and go, yeah. And I'd press play again and it would go again. And it just went like that.
I do live in a world where I spend more time probably with my earbuds in than I actually do listening to the real world. So even when I'm working,
yeah, me too.
There's too much content out there, like the archived episodes of Blizzard Comedy on YouTube. I'm glad I said that right before Jonny put back on the headphones. They have no idea now.
Did he just use up your dick? Is that what happened?
No, Stuart was being very generous.
Oh.
I was being a sycophant, is what I was being.
Yeah. No, I feel like the sounds of the real world are like overrated, and I don't mean all of them. Like if you go somewhere nice that has like nice wildlife and like beachy waves that you're not used to, great, love it, listen to the natural world. But like if you're just walking around the same bit of suburbia and hearing the same neighbors argue with each other, and like there's a park near me, right? And I really like walking around the parks near me. I've got a surprising amount of green space for like a weird little unloved bit of South London. And one of the parks has like a wildfowl area like set up and well maintained to preserve like ducks and birds and stuff. And it's mating season. If you've ever heard ducks fuck, it's horrible. It's violent and loud, and I hate it, and I don't want to hear those little cunts. Like if like walking through that park at a time when the ducks are breeding, which is what that park is there for, right? To preserve their species, makes me want to kick them to death myself. Fuck ducks.
I feel like they've got that covered. Yeah, exactly.
I should have saved that for my like cancelled round, and now I've blown it.
It's fine. It's fine. Nothing that happens in the break is canon. You can repeat it in a round.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, but it won't be funny now everyone's heard it. So
it's
like
only 3 of us are here. Like half of the crew is not here.
Oh,
hello.
No, but the audience are here, and they get to vote on that round.
It's just for us and the AI companion to summarise the meeting.
I'll
just copy and paste what the AI companion has said for my bit, and then I'll fuck off and get a cup of tea.
I do like that I have basically just doxed myself to everyone in Cornwall by revealing how close the co-op is to my house.
It's fine. There's only like 12 houses in Cornwall. It's like they would have found you eventually.
I just say that AI description is scarily accurate. That is.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Has it just said we're all gay?
It's pretty much that as well. Yeah. Well, now you've said it.
We are.
Andrew Tate told me I was gay, so it must be true.
Nice.
According to Andrew Tate, all of us are gay, which based.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like if I look at it, I'm going to fuck up the OBS stream, so I'll have a look later.
The meeting so far has involved a discussion about various topics. KIRSTIE shared her experience of listening to music while riding her bike and how she sometimes hears things that aren't actually there due to her headphones. STUART talked about his listening habits, mentioning that he often listens to podcasts while doing tasks. Ella shared a similar experience of hearing background sounds that weren't actually there. They also discussed sounds of the real world, which KIRSTIE expressing her dislike for certain sounds like the mating calls of ducks. The conversations also touched on the AI companion and how it has accurately described the participants in the meeting.
I also love how they've like cleaned up my language.
Yeah.
Also, like
the mating call of ducks.
Also, like, did it gender everyone correctly, or was that you correcting it on the fly?
I gendered everybody correctly. Not only that, you can just click catch me up as many times as you want. It only goes back a few minutes because now it starts with the meeting began with KIRSTIE sharing her experience of listening to music while riding. I was going to say, yeah, but it didn't begin there, but there we are. But now it's like KIRSTIE and Ella BAMBUST, they also discuss their dislike for certain sounds.
We've confirmed that the AI is based at least. So
yeah.
I'd rather be on its side when I want to get on its good side for when they do slowly supersede and take us all, because I feel like I could entertain it. I feel like I'd just be a good court jester for the AI when we take over.
I just pressed the button and it says the AI also accurately described participants, which they found amusing.
AI sucking its own dick now.
I'm starting to like it.
Get your one dick. Get your one dick. You called the boss a dick.
No. She just said dick. She didn't.
AI is the boss.
Now we all need to call our dick.
You didn't even call the AI a dick. You just said it sucks its own dick.
That balances out.
Yeah.
The conversation touched on how the AI companion and how it has accurately described the participants. KIRSTIE also mentioned how the AI has cleaned up her language. Towards the end,
she should be very grateful for it.
Towards the end, they confirmed that the AI is based.
I think we found a new. I think this is the show now, Jonny. I think this is just going to be the show. In ad infinitum.
Right, we're going to have a quick look at the comments. So we'll just put my name in all caps. I don't know why. Is that because we put the AI companion on? I don't know. Did I say something rude? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
I did want to scroll back to some of the fake news comments. Andrew had some good ones that I wanted to read out. Now I can't find them because we actually had discussion, unlike usual. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, it is. This is a Gremlins question. Milan can't be fed after midnight. The Cybertruck can't get wet, and the Star Wars cosplayers can't go out in the sun. Incredible. Was the urine intended as a seagull deterrent? And Andrew Taylor saying there is no way Jonny made up the last headline and typed X, but well, I did, and I felt very dirty for having done so. Cool, right. I'll wait for Kate to finish eating before we get back to it. I was going to say we're back now, but that's fine. We're still on break. Oh, it's because you said fuck the audience and I'm audience. Sorry, I apologies for saying fuck the audience. I didn't really mean it. I love you all. Please don't leave. Between you've raised about £50 for us in 2 years. I mean, I say that a lot of you are patrons and have given much more than that. So I genuinely thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we love
it's always about money with you, isn't it, Collins?
Yeah.
I'm not being tempted yet, Sully, but we're getting there.
The finale of Blizzard comedy is Jonny ascending to become an AI. Oh God.
I mustn't go now. My computer overlords leave me.
Ever
Please
since
like and subscribe.
I was a little girl, I knew I wanted to be on the computer a lot.
Oh dear.
See ya, Fob. Okay, we're like 15 minutes behind. That's fine. We've had much worse ones before.
Usually with me there.
I don't help.
Yeah, to be fair, the fact that you keep putting me and Ella together is a
it's a danger.
So that makes it Johnny's fault, which almost makes Jonny a.
Nice try.
This is basically ADHD, the stream. We have to be fair on that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Good name for a stream.
That 100% definitely exists as a stream already.
How about a podcast called Twitch Stream?
Is this your podcast?
Yes, this has all been my podcast. None of this.
I have just audio recorded my entire life from start to finish, releasing it episodically after I die.
We're all AI.
The longest
That's
podcast
the
series
twist.
ever. Just like a reality version of The Archers, just audio recording your entire life and releasing it as podcast.
Jesus.
You're suggesting we're all on like the podcast version of the Truman Show, but it's just Ella. But like,
fuck, she's on to us.
Can I read out the AI one last time, and then I'll stop it?
How much do we believe it's one last time?
Yeah.
Well, during
this is the AI, and it's not
just that one last little one. Yeah,
just. The team discussed an incident where KIRSTIE called the AI a dick, and how now they all needed to call their dick for the AI to consider them as such. Towards the end, they discussed the finale of Blizzard Comedy, where Jonny will ascend to become an AI.
Oh, God. I need to do this for everything I ever do.
Yeah.
The AI's like the only true ending for Jonny.
Oh God, no spoilers.
One of us.
It's marked you now, Jonny. There's no escape.
Right, should we carry on with the show? Are we ready?
Please.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Cool.
Fucking do it.
Oh my God.
Right, our next round is called Inverse Crossword. You ever looked at a crossword and thought, you know what, this needs less context? Well, if so, you're in luck. We'll be showing the panel a completed crossword without any clues, and it's their job to guess what the clues might have been, all of them relating to stories in the past month. Isn't this format riveting? So here is the completed crossword. We've got 5 clues. The clues are shoplifting, Peter K, 0, quarter, and 2009.
Is this just Jeopardy?
This is...
What?
You're basically trying to guess what the prompt for these clues were, and they're all related to news things in the last month.
Cool.
Last time you actually felt hope, number 5 across.
The last time you felt hope, 3 across.
I can't remember any of these. I am going back to look at the thing.
I'll put them in the Zoom chat.
Please do.
Last time you had a good time that you could tell the girls on Discord about. 1 across.
The world's first AI comedian. 2 down.
Well, I mean,
what is the
absorbable. 2 down.
Oh God.
What is the purpose of self-checkouts? 1 across. What are they there for?
4 down. The period in American football to the point where you get extremely bored.
No. 4 down. What should happen to Boris Johnson after he's first hung and drawn?
Incredible.
5 across. When did it all start going downhill? In brackets, thanks, Obama.
Love doing this topical panel stream.
Yeah, right?
2 down.
You put 2009
I
as
know,
the answer.
yeah. No, I accept responsibility.
All right, let's keep it topical then. 2 down. Who caused the great garlic bread drought of the early 2000s?
3 across. 3 across. The number of jokes we have for 3 across.
That's not true anymore.
There we go.
for my 2019 5 is when could I last see when I had dropped something on my shirt?
How many children does Boris Johnson have? That's 5 across.
4 down. The number of jokes we have about 5 across.
How many children does Boris Johnson pay child support for? 3 down.
4 down. How much a house cost, according to my American grandfather when he was a kid?
You got there before I did, you bastard.
Same one. How much does my American cousin think is an appropriate amount to give for pocket money? You
3 across.
With those.
How much?
1 across.
How much the American government thinks is an appropriate amount of pocket money? 3 across.
1 across. What activity do most people in North Manchester do on a first date?
2 down. The reason we're probably not getting high-speed rail in the north. We want to keep him out. Keep him out from the south.
Not another charity single.
I was going to say
1 across. Actions punishable by death, according to American media.
3 across. Ironically, what are the chances of us achieving net zero carbon emissions in the UK?
4 down. What should be done with you when you do 1 across?
1 across. Very, very tiring thing to try and do. Bad for the arms. I'm just making bad puns now.
Yeah, one across. 1 across. How to get that trans girl to like you?
4 down. A word meaning slightly more quart.
2 across. Who was the last working class comedian to properly make it in this country?
That's probably true.
Right.
1 across. What does Beedle do in The Legend of Zelda?
3 across. Which 2002 action platformer from Sega?
4.
Fuck! I lost it. No. I was so close. Mega Man joke. But
I enjoy this finish it by saying Mega Man joke. It's just...
What kind of score do I deserve for 3 across?
Right. Does anyone? Yeah. Feel free to start guessing correctly at some point.
What kind of score do I deserve? 5 across.
Okay, fine. 2009 points to Kirstie's team, I guess.
5. I was going to say 5. How much pocket money would my stepdaughter truly think is enough for a woman?
Okay.
And 3, how much is she going to get?
I'll roll in the serious ones. I do know that 2 down is about his cancelled gigs, I'm going to assume.
Yeah, close enough. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the latest answer, the latest artist to cancel gigs at the Co-op.
Yeah, so it was who was supposed to be the first actor that delayed Co-op Live Arena. Yeah, Peter Kay was touted to be the first actor to brand new Co-op Live Arena, but they forgot to finish the venue twice. And now the CEO has stepped down, and Peter Kay will have to talk about garlic bread to tens of thousands of people on Zoom instead. So that's where...
1 across, I'm going to assume is something like what is currently considered to be the greatest threat by UK police or something shit like that.
Not a record all-time high in England.
Yeah, I think yeah. Sorry,
okay,
that. So yeah.
It's labelled as terrorism under Michael Gove's new definition.
This is one of the few news stories that makes me proud of our country right now. It's a Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
As a former retail worker, I feel you.
Starmer is roaming around Blackpool with a shotgun.
I have said it before, and I will say it again. Shop local, shoplift corporate. I'm totally fine with that. If Sainsbury's didn't want you to steal, they wouldn't funnel money into the Tories, which make everyone poor.
Yeah. Also, they would have they would pay their staff properly. The last place I worked, for real, it was a 5-story department store. One day we opened it with 4 people. And they're surprised we have a shoplifting problem.
Wow.
But seriously, if you can find a local shop, sometimes I mean, we have one around the corner from me, and legitimately it's vastly reduced my need to go to any major supermarket because, you know, like, just go there. And the people there are actually nice and don't spit at you.
What did you ask them
to? It's just a Sheffield problem. Fair play.
Speaking of Gove, when I was thinking of doing PhDs about 10 years ago, my gran was very invested in the idea that because I'm a medievalist, she was very invested in the idea that I study medieval law because, and I quote, "You never know, it might be transferable." And I laughed at the time, and then a week later, Michael Gove became Justice Minister, and I was like,
karma.
Speaking of laws, 2009 proposed last birth year that you're going to be able to buy cigarettes.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the one. So shoplifting one that has hit a record high in the UK, which I'm sure has absolutely nothing to do with the record levels of poverty and skyrocketing food prices. Clearly, it's just all those. Clearly, it's just all those video games.
Been listening to me.
And,
I'm that influential.
Yeah, it's all Kirstie's fault. And the 2009, that is the cut-off year for buying cigarettes in this country, thanks to a bill that's already been that's been passed. No one born after 2009 will be able to buy cigarettes legally. And if there's one thing they say about people born after 2009 is they are absolutely sticklers for the law and rules. Also, I'm in denial that people are younger than me, so like no one was even born in 2009. It's fine.
Can I propose 4 down? I hardly knew her.
Beautiful.
Can I propose 2 down? I hardly knew her. I initially read it as.
You have an
Peter K. Hardly knew him.
Peter K. Yes, he's fine. This all sounds like Peter K. material now.
Yeah. Do you remember Peter K?
I mean, his tribute acts are raking in the money at the moment. Yeah. So I feel like we should all just do that. Like, we could just do what other people are doing and make a Peter K. tribute act.
I'm going to be a Peter K. tribute act.
I'm going to stick to my tried and true method of reading out AI transcripts.
Hold on. So no, wait. So if we're going to become Peter K. tribute acts, that it doesn't mean we're becoming Peter K. tribute acts, and it's becoming Dave Spikey tribute acts.
What a delightful niche one.
That was freaking great.
That was just for comedians.
Yeah. That's most of our audience. Comedians or huge comedy nerds that will get that.
And 4 down, is that to do with 4 and 5-year-olds in the UK owning smartphones?
Yeah, that is. Well, actually, it was 5 to 7-year-olds, so no points. No, I'll give you points for that. Yeah, it's how many children aged 5 to 7 are reported to have their own smartphones. I know what you're thinking, and I agree. We need to beat up this other 75%. They'll never learn not to be poor.
I know where I'm getting my new smartphone.
That seems low to me, because I've legitimately seen like kids just head down like in prams and stuff. So that seems low. I don't know if I have a feeling that's not their smartphone, but you never know.
I was going to say, I think a lot of them will a lot of parents will give them smartphone to like watch things on or like when they're traveling or whatever. But yeah, these are the ones who report.
I was on a bus one time, and this very little boy who was maybe like 7 was like, it was a rammed bus. Like I couldn't help but see what was on this child's phone because he was like playing games, and like I'd seen the mum like go, "Here, play this while we're on the bus so you don't annoy everyone." And the lock screen, and like this was clearly, the mum had a separate phone that she was on, so this was clearly the phone that children were allowed to play on, that was not the one the mum was talking on. And the lock screen had this like massive muscle-bound greased-up man wearing the tiniest underwear I've ever seen, and I was just like I spent the entire bus journey like not able to concentrate on like my music or the book. How
looking at his boss?
How did the decisions you made lead to that happening.
Well, I suppose I'll go on the counterattack. When I have a child and I put them in the pram, I'm going to get them to read the entire satirical works of 20s German satirist Kurt Tucholsky. Let's do that.
Nice.
Let's counteract.
My sister has just had a baby. Well, two of my sisters have just have had babies recently, and like one of them isn't that worried about like putting him in front of the TV and stuff, but my other sister was like, no, I don't really do the television. Don't do the television. I don't want him to become screen dependent. And fair enough, because she knows sort of what she's talking about. She's worked with kids for a long time, but she was like, no, my child will not become like screen dependent and things like that. And then one day she was just rung me and was like, the only thing that could shut him up was Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, so yeah, it was
like original Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh no, the newer one.
It's like The Simpsons. You have to watch the classic.
I love how that's the line.
Autistic noise I've ever heard. That was...
Ringo Starr or nothing.
Yeah, I know. I was
this show is just millennials mad that things are different now.
I showed him.
We are the boomers now.
Show.
I showed him the Raggy Dolls, and he did like the Raggy Dolls. So.
Oh, Raggy Dolls is great.
I'm pretty happy with that. My Neil in his fake indoctrination continues.
I am so fucking delighted that my goddaughter is out of her Paw Patrol phase, because that sets me the fuck off. That baby propaganda, private ACAB. Police force bullshit. Just, I get so enraged, and then like I have to be like a parental figure. And I'm like, oh, this is...
You cannot call the small dog a cunt in front of the child.
You can, just only once.
Her favourite, right? There's one that has the same name as her, and the fucking cop is her favourite.
Oh no!
My littlest sister, absolutely showed signs of having been brought up by, because she's 15 years younger than me, and I'm the oldest. So she definitely showed signs of being, you know, in a household with many older siblings, because her first sentence was "Stop it, bitch."
Amazing.
Excellent.
Right, does anyone know what Zero is?
The hottest sub in Mortal Kombat.
Is it
the chance of the Tories winning
to this question?
I mean, I don't think I can give you that, but also I can't say you're wrong, because...
Come on, Sully's got 3. We need one for our team to have any hope of evening out.
I picked this up the PK one. I mean, I'm just saying.
This is a bit of a...
How is it? How many Peter K's are performing at the arena?
Oh God, that opens the idea up to there being more than one Peter K, and I don't think I could cope with that.
Is this some? Is it a temperature thing? Give us a hint.
It's not a temperature thing. I feel like the only hint I could be really obvious, but also I'm tired of this round now.
Is it how many HS2s have been built by the government?
No, it is. It is.
How many?
Oh, go on.
Is it how many more times I get to call Jonny a dick?
It is economy related. That probably gives it away.
How many refugees have actually gone on a plane to Rwanda yet?
Again, I mean, that is also correct, but it wasn't the one we were looking for. It is economy related. That probably gives it away.
Is the chance of the economy improving if the Tories don't lose the next election?
I feel like that's in the negatives at that point.
Is it growth?
Growth, yeah, I'll give you that. Basically,
GDP,
yeah. So it's specifically retail growth has been 0 for the last month, which is actually a record high in recent months. At least the Tories haven't made it go even lower again. That would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, we've made it to 0.
Status quo, baby.
Oh yeah.
So at the end of that round, Katie's team were on 6 points, and Kirstie's team were in the lead with 10.
It feels so weird to be winning against Katie. Like, I know it's not going to last, but
it feels weird to be on the winning team.
Right.
You can tell that I can tell I've been a bit depressed this month because I don't know any of the news. I just played Magic the Gathering for 29 days straight.
Jonny, you did lie to me though, because we are, if I'm not mistaken, 2007 points now. Sorry, 9.
No, yeah, I did lie to you. I've not given you 2009 points. So
that's so cruel.
The issue is that it's not like anything from like 200 years ago, which the
1824 edition of this show, we'll invite you on that one.
Great.
Patreon people, get on it. Back to that. I would watch that.
Just started a bunch of historical ones. Yeah, that'd be that could be kind of fun actually. Right, we are running way behind, so let's move on. Next round is called Cancelled. Each of our guests will take it in turn to cancel something that you specifically hold dear. And then at the end, we will all get to vote on what we want to cancel, and we'll count the votes, declare the winner, and cancel them so hard that not even Netflix will turn down a deal to give them lots of money. So, who should we start with? Let us start with Mabel. Do you want to go first? Who are you cancelling this month?
Sure. I would like to cancel my HP Instant Ink subscription. Both in terms of with regards to this game and literally. So essentially, I got a printer and it wouldn't work without me signing it up to this subscription, and it's ridiculous because it's paying both for the ink and to use the ink. So it's like you to print a certain number of pages, even though you already own the ink, you have to pay. And I was like, I didn't know that when I bought the printer because it doesn't say when you buy the printer, and then it takes advantage of me being really forgetful, because obviously I would just forget to use my printer, and then I was still paying money to print however many pages a month. And then if I set it to the lowest amount, if I wanted to print things, it would still charge me. It would charge me extra for wanting to actually print things, which is rubbish. It's like the ultimate in anti-ADHD, capitalism. It's horrific. And then I couldn't just cancel it because that would be too easy. So I got rid of the printer and I was still paying for the subscription. Sorry, my partner's watching and he's just you're being held hostage by your printer. I'm genuinely being held hostage by a printer I don't even own anymore.
It's weird we've got to the point where just things that there's no logical sense to have subscriptions to are just making you subscribe to them. It's fucking wild. Also, thank you, Shaka Spades, for the follow. Lord Toller will just put hashtag free Mabel in the chat. Incredible.
It goes, to cancel your subscription, just go to your settings in your account and then follow the drop-down because I Googled because I couldn't find it. So I was like, go to your account and then go to manage account and then you'll find the cancel button. There was no cancel button. You had to phone up the company separately, which I am not
hate
good at
that. It's like they know we have speech impediments and we're just not going to be able to do it. It's just...
It's because that, and you stammer on the first bit. They sort of assume it's a prank call and then hang up. So about 3 times phoning this, and then being on hold for hours and hours, and finally I managed to cancel this, and they were like, "No, absolutely not to worry," and I'm like, "No, yes to worry, because it's taken me 4 months to do this." So I cancelled it, and yesterday.
I didn't hear that one there. Sorry.
Sorry, I shouted.
Hooray just transcended the barrier.
Yesterday, I got a bill.
Oh no.
Oh
my god.
Right. Okay.
Oh no.
Cancelled at all, or it has, and it's decided to take extra money from me just because it feels like it can.
That does sound like printers.
We have your email address. And so that's.
Mabel's partner at the end of this, can you please give her a hug? She clearly needs.
But you've made a really strong case there. You might already be the front runner, I'll be honest.
Oh my god!
But yeah,
my god!
your normal, like, this thing needs to be cancelled sort of thing. But it's literally a thing that needs to be cancelled in my life.
Okay, if it wins the vote, take a screenshot of it and an email back going like, we actually have like legal precedent for you to cancel this now. So if you charge me again.
Cancelled on a Twitch stream.
Also, did you know you can call your boss a dick once?
Fab. Okay, thanks very much, Mabel. Ella, we'll have you next. Who are you cancelling this month?
Okay, so sometime last week, I went on a date with my partner to a local games workshop. And as soon as we walked in, the guy behind the counter was like, "Hey, hi, hello. How's your day going?" Because he's like from Texas and he's a nice guy, which means he's probably a refugee. And he looks up and he goes, "So there's this queer Space Marine chapter." And he's absolutely lovely, and we sit down, and because they're organizing this kind of workshop where you can paint one of the figures for free and you get to take it home and everything. And the entire time, this utter bastard is just the most affable, likable guy you could possibly have met. Just annoyingly nice, but like nice, appreciative, not nice, derogatory, you know? And like genuinely, and like, gonna have to come back here. He's nice, but then, you know, we need an excuse. And then at some point, we get like this moment of like, "Oh, so you know, you're queer and you're like wargaming. Do you know Amy? She's also trans." And I'm like, okay, first of all, it's really, really rude. The idea that all queer people just have to know each other. The fact that we used to sleep together is not relevant. And then as we left, it's then that both of us realized that both of us were holding like a stack of boxes with 200 pounds lighter. So I would like to nominate this delightful prick for selling us on painting minifigures, because we are looking to buy a house. And at this rate, all we're going to be able to afford is a shed, which we won't be able to live in because it's going to be filled with these little blue bastards.
Incredible. Thanks very much, Ella. Right, we'll have Stuart next. Stuart, who are you cancelling this month?
Okay, so I had a revelation this week. I went to the opticians for the first time in a long while, and I've been told that I have astigmatism in my left eye quite severely. So as was predicted by myself a while back, before I turned 30, I have actually now got reading glasses, which I'm not using on this stream because, let's face it, this is as far away from reading as you can possibly get. But I realized how much it actually has been affecting me over the years, how actually the deterioration of my sight is, even though it's minimal, it's barely, like I can see fine pretty much everything here. Like the deterioration of my sight has been a really sort of, it has affected me in ways I didn't even imagine. And it really makes me realize I've lost quite a bit of potential when it comes to doing stuff because I've just let myself see the world in a blurry way. So with that in mind, I would like to cancel my eyes. And in a manner that basically will hope and pray that they actually do function now that they basically, I want to consider it a scolding on their behalf. I don't want to go, obviously, have them lose their ability and go blind and things like that, but I would very much appreciate that they stop lazing around and actually do what they're supposed to do. This is on recommendation of my optician anyway. So I personally would like to make sure that I have disciplined and socially appropriate sight from here on in. So I'm going to nominate my own eyeballs as the main item that I would like to cancel tonight.
Incredible. Thanks very much,
Good
Stuart.
call.
Right, we'll have Sully next. Sully, who are you cancelling this month?
I would like to cancel my cat. Or potentially the concept of feeding my cat. You see, first of all, I love a cat, but I wasn't supposed to have a cat. Basically, what happened was my previous neighbour, an elderly gentleman, he used to feed a stray cat. And then one day he said to me, "Oh, I'm feeding another stray cat." And I took one look at this other cat and I said, "I don't think that's a stray cat, Billy." And he went, "Oh, she's starving." I'm like, "She's fucking greedy, Billy." But he persisted in feeding this cat. And about 2 weeks after that, the cat's actual owner comes knocking on his door and says, "Do you by any chance have our cat?" And Billy said, "Oh, shit, thought it was stray," gives him the cat back. They then take the cat back to their house, put the cat down, and run straight back to Billy's. Right? So Billy has just stolen this cat. About 18 months later, Billy, unfortunately, has a massive stroke, gets rushed to hospital, passes away, never comes back. So now there's a cat with no human. Now, the cat's original human can't take the cat back because they've now got a dog. Neighbours over that side got a dog. Neighbours over that side likes cats, but already has a cat and a dog. They all got together, had a meeting I wasn't at, and decided I now had a cat.
Okay.
Now, I pointed it out at the time, you know, I'm away a lot. I'm away gigging a lot. They're like, "No worries." One of my neighbours like, "I can feed the cat when you're away." Great. That neighbour was great, was feeding the cat. Suddenly their health takes a turn for the worst. I've got gigs coming up this week just been. I need someone to feed the cat. So I go back to the cat's original owner, someone who already knows the cat, and says, "Can you by any chance feed the cat while I'm away?" She says, "Okay." I'm like, "I will be away over a week." She's like, "Okay." So I give her a key, get her number, yada, yada, yada. I travel all the way down to Plymouth for gigs, at which point she sends me a text while I'm on the road saying, "I felt really uncomfortable. You put me on the spot. I don't want to feed the cat."
Oh, no.
I'm like, I'm at the other end of the fucking, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And it's one of those situations, it was so weird that I started asking random, I'm showing them texts, "Am I the dickhead here? am I the arsehole?" And everybody's like, "No, this is fucking weird." And so, yeah, I was, at one point it looked as though I was going to have to drive all the way back from Plymouth to Manchester in between gigs to try to sort out someone to feed the cat. I even called the neighbour that had been feeding the cat. I was like, "Can you suggest anyone?" She's like, "Yeah, what about this neighbour over here?" I'm like, "Great." I'm like, "Do you have their number?" She's like, "No." I'm like, eventually, I co-opted someone, if you will probably know, Tony Wright, to travel each day from the next borough over to feed the cat. So I like to promote Tony, but I like to cancel the cat. Okay? I think it would be a lot more realistic if I kept Tony as a pet. Just because I think in emergencies, only in emergencies, he can probably feed himself.
You live in Midsummer or something, because your whole neighbourhood seems to be people whose health is taking a turn for the worse and assholes.
I live in North Manchester. Oh,
very relatable.
Kitty Lasercat has just followed. Is that your cat, Sully? Talking shit. Thanks very much for the follow. Incredible. Brilliant. Okay, right, Katie, we'll have you next. Who are you cancelling this month?
I am cancelling an unnamed comedy promoter for industry drama.
Okay, but will you put it in the Zoom chat so that we know?
Yeah. I was approached by a promoter to MC a gig, and I MC'd at the Fringe. I did my gig. I've done it a reasonable amount, but not paid. I'm more of a like act, I guess. Whatever. It's like a set act. But it's proper pro money, and I was, just after the back of the Fringe, and I hosted it there and got reviews, and I was like, "Oh, great, it's paid off." He approached me, and then a few weeks ago messaged me saying, "I'm having second thoughts about whether you're going to be able to do this. You're going to be good enough to be able to host this gig." can you come and watch a show? And I was like, I guess. This hasn't happened to me before, but it was one of my first like paid MC. So it gets to the day, I have a fever, and like I've cancelled my full weekend of paid gigs. I'm not going to go and watch a gig for free. So I cancel, and he gets very angry at me as if I've just stood him up for performing the gig on the day. And like, it's fine. I'm good at emceeing. I'll be fine at the gig, but my ego is quite wounded. And so I'm going to just cancel that. Not necessarily as funny. It's just like, what's the thing that's pissing me off?
Full support.
Yeah. Was he trying to like rope you into doing the gig for free and like, our current MC couldn't make it, would you mind jumping in?
Ooh, no, I don't think so. No, because I saw images of the gig. He said it's really rough and nasty and it's a horrible gig. And I'm like, why do you run it then?
I've never heard of someone being booked to watch a gig before, though.
Yeah,
it's a bold strategy for sure.
I don't think that's a thing.
Especially like on a Friday night, I'm a comedian. I've got other things to do, namely earn money.
Also telling on himself a bit that like, oh, this gig that I run is fucking horrible.
Yeah. That's the thing which like,
it's your gig.
Sounds like a you problem, pal.
How can a gig be awful?
Be better at your job.
Like, how can a gig be awful before the MC goes on stage?
Yeah.
Consistently.
It wasn't like super far away, because like that would be really awful if you had to travel like a really long way, like just to watch a gig you may be MCing, but they're not sure they want you to MC. Like,
I am MCing it.
Like,
I'm quite lucky. I've got an agent. If he tried to cancel, it would be like, Susanna, get him. More than my actual fee in cancellations.
Like, I've never heard of this happening, and I've been doing it for 13 years.
Right.
I know. And I'm just like, it's because I'm a woman, isn't it? It's not. Probably not. Probably because I'm a little bit alternative, and he's going, oh God, she's going to go on stage and start going, oogity boogity.
That is how you start it.
Yeah. You can't do that unless
there aren't going to be any mother-in-law jokes in that set.
Take my wife. Confused. Please take my wife.
That makes me think of it's not my story, sadly, but it's one of Eddie French's stories about how when they went to a gig, and they were on, and Penella Miller was on, and it was like a proper old school comedy promoter, and he goes, well, the thing about this is we don't want any jokes about like, about periods and stuff like that. We don't deal with any of that stuff here. And then our audience won't go for it. But Penella Miller goes on and just tells a thing about, does a set about like period stuff. And she storms and the audience is laughing. Apparently Eddie's standing backstage and the promoter comes up and goes, see? Nothing. It's amazing. Like this like just refused to hear the laughter. I think that shows up with so many people. But no, that is I think it's probably a combination of like the woman thing, the alternative thing, and this promoter being a bit of a dick.
He approached me. If I approached him,
that's the weirdest thing.
I begged him for the thing.
He knew what he was like getting into.
Yeah.
Right, we are way behind, so I'm going to move on now. But
Sorry.
No, absolutely. No, this was entirely our fault for just being too outraged at this guy that we kept the conversation. Absolutely. Thanks very much, Kirsty. Last but not least, who are you cancelling this month?
I'm cancelling Meta Business Suite.
Yeah.
Very because like we all hate Facebook. We all hate how like necessary it is for promoting things. Like we hate all of the doom scrolling about it, but I very specifically had problems with it today because we celebrated 5 years of Blizzard comedy this month. And Jonny did that thing that they do for all of our shows where they made a really beautiful playlist of like songs that represent our ethos, and they get everyone like listening to music that like gets you in the mood for Blizzard. And it's a brilliant playlist. It's got lots and lots of excellent people on it. And they've written a blog explaining why each of the songs that they have included, they've included, like why they're all special and important. And I'm going to pop it in the chat so you can have a look at that. And there's a link everywhere you can listen to it. And when we put it up on the website, we schedule in some social media posts so that like anyone who's not just looking directly at WordPress, which let's face it is everyone, can see that happen, can see that it's out. And so Meta Business Suite says it allows you to tag other Facebook pages. And I like it when the musicians know that they're included in our playlist. They always say really nice things about like the nice things Jonny's written about them. It feels very wholesome and cute. And Meta Business Suite just hasn't got a fucking clue. Like, I don't know what they've done. I don't know what they have built that is different from the search bar on Facebook for some reason. That pages I want to find, but I put it in Meta Business Suite and I type in Martha and it says, did you mean cruel mother? And I'm like, no. And then I go, type in cruel mother and it goes, did you mean Lalithu Johnson? I'm like, I obviously fucking Pizza Tramp, and it goes, do you mean Pizza Hut? Like, no, those are different words and different things and not even close, right? Call me Malcolm, and it offered me Mama's baby. That's not even close. Two really different phrases that just have 3 M's in them and not even close to in the same order, right? So I type in Tripsun, very specific, Tripsun. Like that is so, nothing else is called Tripsun. You're not mixing that up with Pizza Hut or Mama's baby. And it goes, do you mean surf trip? Like, no. No, you moved one word elsewhere and then added a bunch of other shit. Like, I'm typing in the exact letters of the name of the thing I need you to find, and there's only one page that's even close to that name on your entire platform. And I know because I have it open in the separate tab to check. Right? And whatever fucking god-awful machine learning they've got searching their own platform for things their platform can give me is like so fucking useless. Like, it makes me hate Facebook more than I already do, and I thought I was at my limit. And I'm tired. I'm tired. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Thanks very much. I mean, yeah, you're definitely my winner there because I've noticed that. So it's a gamble whether it'll even let me tag our events in things. Sometimes it will just be Blizzard Comedy, and other times I'll try and tag Blizzard Comedy, and it will pull up a list of events we did 4 years ago. And like, obviously, I don't want to tag these. I don't know why. It's never consistent either.
It's the same with the Cobra quiz where it'll like link. I'll try and link it to the latest one so I can share it with people, and I get like May 2022, and I'm like, why? Why do you think this one is the relevant one? Like,
maybe he just really likes that one.
It's his favorite.
It was a strong one. Also,
it was really
funny. Can we arrange it for Kirstie to get a hug as well? I think they need it.
I live alone, and I don't think any of you have my address. I feel like it'd be weird if someone comes and knocked on
no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I was just like, Stuart said you needed a hug. I was watching the stream.
Right, okay. Okay, I'm putting...
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Meta Business Suite is definitely the winner in my own mind. I feel like,
bias there, but
it's relatable. Definitely relatable.
It's relatable.
Fuck it. Okay, I'm going to put 4 in. I want to put. I hate that you can only have 5, but I'm going to not put forward Sully's cat because I don't think it is the cat's fault. But I did really enjoy the story, and I'm not going to put in Stuart Eyes in case this actually works, and then you sue us because your eyes stopped working. But I'm going to put forward the rest for the poll. Going to be 5 minutes, and then as soon as the voting's done, we're going to go straight back into the show because I want to be done before 10:30. So now, so I'll also use this as a reminder as we're going into the break that again, if you would like to bribe me, if you want to bribe this vote by subscribing, cheering, or donating to the PayPal, I will overrule the entire of democracy in your favour. Don't think I'm above this. Your money will buy you extra sway, and it will be divided among the X to use for nefarious means such as buying overpriced train tickets to gig to 7 people in Stoke who want you dead the minute they see your face. Just do that in the usual ways on Twitch or via any of the links in the chat. That's not how you spell donate. There we are. I did it without the A in case anyone was wondering, so I just put don't. Dog game.
NetSuite is like, did you mean Donkey Kong?
Oh wow, this is neck and neck. To Mabel AP subscription Better Business Suite.
I do like that I'm close to win. Like, I do like that I'm one of the top ones.
Yeah.
But I feel like the main reason that Katie's comedy promoter hasn't got enough votes is that everyone's just like, we won't vote for that here, but we will find out what gig this is and like shank him on his way out sometime.
No, wait until my invoice is paid.
Yes.
After that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that one person who gave me one vote.
I voted for someone else.
Did you vote for yourself, Ella?
I was going to say, I thought that was you.
No, I voted for my team captain.
Aww. I feel like yours is a relatable story among our audience, Ella.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Going into a hobby shop and going out like, the fuck?
But the thing is, no, half the audience will relate to it. The other half are that prick who gets people into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just want to be able to cancel my HP subscription.
Well,
I mean, that is a mood.
It's all I want. I can't afford like £5 a month for not anything.
Oh my god. I feel like if we don't do if Mabel doesn't win, I feel like we may have some we may need an extended session in our hands just to get Mabel let it out.
I'm gonna go to Lou.
Fun.
I've just blocked my final unwanted subscription, which is unfortunately my old union, but I have stayed in it for almost a year after leaving. Just because I haven't had the heart to cancel it, even though it's USDOR and not particularly useful, but still.
Thankfully, I found out that my union actually does scaled payments on how much you work. So because I work less than 3 days a week, I actually don't need to pay the £27 a month that I was paying all that time, and it's £1.50 a month, and I was like, thank you, NEU, I love you. And they also keep inviting me to queer things, which is really sweet. They're like, have you considered that we want you on this panel for like LGBTQ educators? And I'm like, oh,
this is genuinely possibly the closest vote we've ever had.
Wow.
Bated breath here.
It's also the most people we've had voting at once, so either we've got significantly more viewers than usual, or just a lot of you feel more passionately about this.
This is the first time I've ever been placed, so I'm like, yeah.
I can't believe that no one cares about misogyny in the comedy industry.
Again, they're going to ask you.
They do. They just hate
it.
John Pearson's going to pop up.
John Pearson's going to be there.
It's like, misogyny obviously horrible, but printers subscriptions and Facebook obviously worse.
Oh no! Just put it on social media in a comedy forum, and you will just cause an explosion of activity.
Just comment the name and nothing else. And just...
This may be a little bit inside baseball, but the second someone I've noticed this over the last 6 months, the second anyone complains about anything in the comedy industry on a Facebook comedy forum, just waterworks just completely just burst, and suddenly 50 different things suddenly occur that you're just like, wait, what has this got to do with it? What's that? If everyone's accusing everyone else, it basically becomes Salem in the 17th century.
And then someone goes, but why?
Voting's nearly up. You've got a few seconds left if you want to get in. By the time you hear this, you won't, so that's redundant.
Yeah, then people go, but why aren't we talking about bringers? It's like, no, that's all we talk about.
I can't do that because the last gig I did, I spoke to one of my friends about it in a group. Oh no, I mentioned it
anonymously,
and then someone was like, oh yeah, beep name did the same to me, and I was like,
no.
Don't! I went to such great lengths to go, I don't want people to be mad at me. And then just immediately, yeah.
So, Kirstie's team are the winner that time. Meta Business Suite is what's getting cancelled, but runner-up points to Mabel too, which I know doesn't help you with your subscription problem, but it was very close.
I'm going to have to ring them again. My partner suggested an exorcism.
Maybe you could send them a letter that you'd print Oh.
No, there's no winning here.
Right.
It's like having a broken phone and being like, "How do I fix this?" And then just like, "Just call this number."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Fuck.
I think this whole conversation is lowering the tone a bit. So
right, yeah.
Hey!
We'll have if anyone needs like the lure wall to get anything, do that now, and then we'll carry on with the show.
I'm going to carry on.
I've been traumatized into a third cider.
I mean, I think I'm on like my sixth, but they are like cans, so they're very small.
2 for a £5 at co-op, so.
Yeah, to be fair, like I've probably had the equivalent of those bottles.
I may be coming down from the coffee, so...
Cool, right, let's crack on. Let's get the show on the way that someone needs to go.
Yeah.
Cool, okay. Our next round is the Great Debate. I have not written an intro for this one, so we're going to go straight into it. We are going to be discussing the hot topic issue of the day, which is, of course, whether GP should be restricted from giving sick note. Why is this a question? Sorry. We're going to be discussing this with lots of key political stakeholders, and we have got on the panel today, if I can find the right fucking thing, here we are. We have Katie Mitchell as Health Secretary Wes Streeting, we've got MABEL SLATTERY as a DWP, Stuart Dunlop as Rishi Sunak, Kirstie Summers as a teenager who forges doctor's notes for 50p, Ella BAMBUST as a GP, and Sully O'Sullivan as a employee of the Job Centre. So thank you all for joining. Just kind of opening statements for everyone. Do you think GP should be able to give out sick notes? We'll start with you, Rishi Sunak, as you seem most passionate about this.
Yes, well, thank you for involving me in this. It's nice to be heard for once. I would like to make the statement that, yes, it is imperative that we prioritize the efficient running of things such as the NHS over the idea that anyone could ever get sick, because as we all know, it's ridiculous that anyone should suffer that kind of weakness. My father was or my grandfather rather, was a doctor, so I happen to know that he has no interest in caring for patients either. But I will also say, yes, I do think it is a sign of weakness that we encourage people to carry on with sick notes and use maladies as an excuse to not keep the country running. I would say that is my main focus, is that we avoid the concept of thinking that a little thing like a virus is going to make us struggle a little bit in the work setting. That's my thought on the issue, yes. Yes.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, thanks very much. Okay, we'll move on to the GP itself next. How do you feel about the Prime Minister's comments there? Do you think you should be allowed to hand out sick notes or not?
Have we all gone collectively insane? I went into this job to save people. What's going on? People, COVID-19 is still here. It's not over, please. I'm begging you. Please, I'm just trying to help one person. Just let me help one person, Sunak. Just one, or I'll come to your fucking house and I'll amputate all of you.
Well, you won't be able to get a note for that, I'm afraid.
Get a sick note for this, you bastard.
Fantastic. Okay, well, we'll move on to, I guess, so this is probably going to go over to the DWP if this does come into play. So how does the DWP feel about this? Do you think GP should be giving out sick notes?
I mean, really, in real terms, truly, what we are trying to do is to mitigate this collective culture that we have, where people feel that they have the right to be ill. And whenever they like, whenever they choose to be ill, because being ill is a choice. And, and for those moments where it isn't a choice, where hardworking people who've been working, who do work, become, unfortunately indisposed for a minimum amount of time, really are assessors that are, here at the DWP in offices run by other people for profit, are really the best people to assess whether you are doing enough for profit.
Eloquently put, thank you very much. And here is someone on kind of the other side of the bureaucracy there. We've got Sally from the Job Centre. How do you feel about this? Do you think GPs should have the right to be giving sick notes to people?
Well, I think we all know it's really a moot point. It's worthless asking the question unless the individual has filled out Form 42B. We all know you can't get a sick note until you've filled out Form 42B. You can't get a sick note until you've got sick, so you can't get sick until you've filled out Form 42B. Obviously, you have to come in and get 42B from here, which we'd prefer you don't do if you're sick.
And of course, we do mention
but obviously, you won't be able to get a sick note unless you have filled out the form.
And obviously, we give you an hour, very generously, to fill out the form and print your evidence, of which you will need 40 pieces, to send to us within the hour's time by post.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, let's hear let's hear from the opposition now. Wes Streeting, how do you feel about this? Do you think GPs should continue to have the authority to sign people off as too sick to work?
Yeah, of course. It's a common sense thing. GPs know their patients and they are doctors and they know the healthcare system. I don't think we have a sick note culture. I think we've got a sickness culture. The NHS has been chronically underfunded for 13 years. There's still a lot, high rates of long COVID and the after effects of the COVID virus, which is of course still around. It's just taping over the problems, not admitting you have a problem from the Conservative government because they're too scared to admit that all of their failures and all of their work over the past 14 years have just left Britain a far worse place.
Can I just say that the idea of a sickness culture in this country is nonsense?
Okay, well, we've not heard from this little teenage entrepreneur here, who's how do you feel about this whole turn of events? Do you think GP should be allowed to be giving out sick notes?
Well, I don't think it matters who's allowed because it didn't stop me. But if they can't, and no one's gonna go get it from their GP, I guess that means more people are gonna come to me. So I don't see why the law is actually stopping them because you can't just write a sick note. It's not hard. If you can write, you can write a sick note because they're pretty easy to fake.
Have you considered a job with the DWP?
How about
no?
I have a business opportunity for you. I'm just giving you drugs.
What I've got going at the moment is pretty sweet, okay? But I would like to thank my good friends at the DWP for making it so hard for people to get their regular sick notes. They're skipping you now, bruv. You are missing a trick.
How about
they're coming straight to me?
How about if instead of people paying you for sick notes, we paid you not to write sick notes? Then you wouldn't have to do anything.
But how do I get more money? Right? If I do more sick notes, I get more money. If you're paying me for 0, how do I get more than that? You do shit, pal.
If you wish to know how to get more money by doing nothing, I suppose I recommend you talk to Mr. Cameron.
I know who that is, bruv.
Play it smart, kid.
Does he need
both.
A sick note?
Say yes and then just do both.
Oh, I like you.
I just want to see people get their time off, mate.
You know your shit. Yeah. Do you need a sick note?
I need some 42Bs.
Okay, right. We've not got a lot of time, so we'll just a couple more points. Just open questions to the panel. So in this turn of events where we do stop GPs from writing these notes, who would be responsible for assessing whether somebody's too sick to work?
I mean, it would be very, very highly qualified, well-rounded, beautifully trained people who we pay a lot of money and don't check up on.
That's what we do in defence.
It's just another round of NHS bureaucracy that's costing a lot of money to make one of the most inefficient public health systems in the world. The whole system of the NHS. A lot of people don't like talking about reforming the NHS, but to keep the NHS free at the point of use, which is something that I am committed to, it needs reform. It doesn't need extra layers of pointless bureaucracy. It needs to be funded to help people.
But just think of all the money we could save on paper. Paper and ink could be very valuable to our defense right now. And I think that's the important thing, because the last thing that we need is a load of people pretending that they're ill, or even using a tiny little cold to while away their time, and using illness as an excuse to not pay attention and not do their bit for this country.
Unfortunately, while you've all been talking about this, we've actually changed to Form 42C.
We already have highly qualified professionals who are capable of assessing, I cannot stress this enough, how sick somebody is and how well they can go to work. My job is not to hand out sick notes. That's his job, and I fully support him in it. My job is to make sure that when you are ill, you get plenty of bed rest, you get plenty of sunlight, and you lie down. I'm begging you.
The thing is, though, what we're really about at the DWP is increasing those opportunities for people. So you may be ill, you may need bed rest, you may need to lie down, you may need sunshine, and liquids, but can you not do all that while working a 50-hour-a-week job?
Yeah. I agree. Lying down has never stopped me.
Okay,
Mother?
Oh, go on. Okay, well, we'll move on to closing statements now then. So I guess, assuming the purpose of this is to address the I guess less pressing issue of the unemployment rates, do we think this would actually help get people into work? And if not, how would you suggest we do that?
Of course it will help people get back into work. It's incredibly important that we get people, off their sofas, off their, beds, off their wheelchairs, and back into, gainful employment that will help the country. And if they can't do that, then I suppose, really we will be providing that support for them to starve and eventually commit suicide.
Anyone got any counterpoints to that? Or should we just leave it on that note?
No. I'm going to make it very clear that I'm saying this as a character on a comedy panel show for legal reasons. I think that if your local MP supports this sick note culture bullshit, then you should car bomb them as a joke, as a little prank in Minecraft.
Oh, no, that's a different form. That's a different form.
I can get you a note saying it wasn't you.
Construct a car bomb, then wouldn't those skills be beautifully put working, say, in a factory?
Start with them.
We can all agree that people who are off work, long-term sick, don't need more pressure, poverty, and shame to get them into work. We'll have support available for when they have it. But the thing about getting people into work is we need the jobs available. We need to be supporting UK industry. We also need to be supporting UK arts, something that's been chronically underfunded. And there's so many jobs been lost there, which can be regained with proper funding to local councils.
Is West treating quite well? Because this is the most sensible I've heard him in a very long time.
I only heard one interview with him and he seemed all right, but maybe I'm behind. I don't know. He's on the news agents, he sounded sound. I was like,
I disagree with the shadows. So dark. There's a tunnel and the light. Is this the high-speed rail I was promised? Was I a good Prime Minister? No, don't drag me down. No.
See, this is both a version of West. This is both a version of West treating and a version of Rishi Sunak. I highly prefer to the real version.
we would all prefer Rishi Sunak dead. We know this.
Yes. Right. We say this as characters. We say this as characters on a comedy panel show. Yeah.
I am Katie Mitchell. Look me in my human eyes. The country would be a better place if Rishi Sunak were dead.
Okay, I think that's a perfect end to that round.
Above my name. I don't want to get my boy in trouble. He's got enough going on.
I think that's a perfect end to that round. I'm going to give Katie another bonus point just for that.
Well deserved.
But I'm going to give the main points of that round to Ella's GP and Mabel's DWP. And also, but fuck it, everyone's going to get a point, but more points to those who were my favourites. So at the end of that round, Kirstie's team is still in the lead on 23 points and Katie's team are on 13. But it's all to play for in the final round. None of this matters. There's one more round, then we can go to bed. All right. Our final round is called Insert Witty Quickfire Gags Here. We have 3 topics for the guests to riff on. Points will go to whoever I enjoy the most. And if you want a particular team to win or lose, again, I am open to bribery. Get those subs and cheers and donations in. Whoever donates the most can just pick the winner. I don't give a shit. Right, we'll start with...
Are you quite all right, Jonny?
Yeah, I'm good.
What happens after 10 o'clock and 6 copperbugs?
Yeah.
You did a sick note.
Not on my time.
Tell people how sick I am. Yeah. Right.
Hey.
Okay. Our first topic is bad messages to receive on a dating app.
I'm messaging you about an accident you were in that wasn't your fault.
Haha. Sorry, if you send somebody haha, it's still your turn.
Hi, it's Lawrence Fox here.
Do you still have the same number of eyes as in your picture?
No. You are not yet worthy.
Can you dress up like my daughter?
Hey, before this goes any further, I need you to meet my boss.
Do you mind if I ask you something a bit embarrassing?
Can I ask you something really personal?
Well, you see the thing about me is I'm an alpha male.
You see, the thing about me is I'm a Sigma male.
I'm just going to open up my app real quick here.
Yep.
Hello, pretty. How are you doing? Won't you mind if you can be my sugar baby? I got that one, let's see, 14 hours ago.
One I ever got was someone saying, "What is the secret to your beauty?" And I replied, "Blood sacrifice."
Did you get a message back?
You're a comedian. I am.
Yeah.
How about thanks for the dick pic? Now can I have all the numbers and addresses of your fellow Tory MPs?
Thank you for bringing it up. I forgot to write a joke about that at the beginning, so I appreciate that.
Do you have the number of the girl next to you in your picture?
No.
Genuinely had that one.
Wow.
Favorite one I've had was, what's your downstairs situation looking like? Which, pick up.
I mean, my kitchen's a little bit messy, but,
I had, but you're definitely a real woman, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
By the way, I responded to the previous one with the middle one's infected.
No, I asked for a dick pic. This is just a picture of Jonny Collins.
Nice.
There's your one.
Okay, yeah. There you are.
You used it well. You used it well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What? My favorite response was, "What the fuck? Why did you send me a dick pic back?"
Okay, any more for that one?
So, do you
to see photos of my plants? I didn't spend very long on lesbian Tinder, but it was mainly either no replies or that.
I'd like to see more pictures of the cat in picture number 4, please.
So, do you fancy hosting a comedy night one of these nights?
Have you ever heard of ABO fiction?
Yeah, heard of surreal sci-fi podcasts.
Like, genuinely. Go ahead.
So, what's your favorite anime? So I can tell you you're wrong.
Genuinely, when you sent over the document with these in for us to prepare, I misread it as banned things to receive in a dating app, and I went, "Oh, that's not a bad idea. I've got gig tickets to sell."
Oh, I hope it's worked.
I don't know anyone in fucking Norway.
Okay, next one. Unlikely things to see in a museum.
Okay, so look, I actually had real issues with this one because I kept thinking of ridiculous things to be in a museum and then realised they were actually in museums somewhere.
Tories.
Now, of course, all of these are replicas because we couldn't just take the originals from their countries.
So this is one of the most censored and prohibited things that you will find in this country, the flag of St. George.
Now, children, this is our interactive torture exhibit. Who wants to try the thumb screws?
Hey, we see an old school device that used to be once upon a time used in the United Kingdom in a more barbaric time. We call it a voting machine.
So this piece is valued at £2.5 million. But, like, if you take away the tax loopholes, that means it's a write-off for the person who donated it. Most people would probably pay like a tenner.
Oh, yeah, I can afford a donation.
Speaking, wow, guys, look at the government funding check we got. It's enough for all our repairs.
Here's one for like 5 people in the world. An accurately named Goya.
The latest exhibition at the Tate Modern is about the problematic history of the sugar trade.
And now we have all of the patrons of the museum, and none of them are oil companies.
Thanks for visiting the Slavery Museum here in Liverpool. Would you like to see our gift shop?
I love you,
Gift shop. You've actually got a gift shop.
I know.
Okay,
I love
any
you,
more?
Sully, for reminding me of that.
Welcome to the Royal Cornwall Museum. We're adequately funded.
Welcome to the Imperial War Museum. We're just getting started.
Welcome to Nottingham. All of our museums cost upwards of £10 and it fucking sucks. Give us a free one, you bastards. Derby Museum has got an Egyptian mummy in it and they shouldn't have it, but it is free to look at. We're being outdone.
Welcome to the
museum. Had to be cancelled.
Welcome to the Museum of Cornish Life. This here is Bertram.
Look at him go.
Okay.
Oh, wait for it. He's turning over. There he goes.
Special night.
Lovely.
Right, final
once
one.
Once in a year thing, that.
Things you wouldn't hear in an arena concert. Oh, go on quickly, Elliot. Ella, yeah.
Welcome to our local... sorry, what's that? No, we don't have wheelchair access.
Right, final one. Things you wouldn't hear in an arena concert.
Much of the music?
Garlic bread.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? The tickets were really affordable.
No, I'll explain it to you after the fact.
Now that I've paid £80 to be here, I don't feel the need to be on my phone.
The cloakroom was so affordable.
Well, I love it when they do novelty beer glasses like this and you don't just have a plastic cup.
Oh, look, not a single one of these merchandise T-shirts were made by a small Indonesian child.
We dedicate
child labour is available. I should point that out.
We dedicate this next song to the Minister of Culture.
Oh my God. This CD is strikingly affordable.
Oh, wow. All my favourite Irish trad bands are here.
You know, this is actually a really pleasant sense of urine that I'm getting from this. Yeah.
You know, I love the way my shoes stick to the floor.
This has just become a complaints list now.
Yeah. There's always going to be. There's always going to be.
Right, any more for that
this
before I do
place
the final
has the
scores?
perfect temperature.
I can't wait for them to regenerate this in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Right. It's 20 past 10. I think we're done. That is the end of the show. Thanks to everyone who made the show possible. Sam for setting up the whole thing, and our beloved patron supporters who've kept us going through thick and thin and other assorted shapes and sizes as well. And thank you to Andrew for helping me find all these silly headlines and news articles to inform most of the structure of the show. And of course, all our guests. But I can reveal that the final scores are now Katie's team on 25 points and Gertie's team are the winner with 31 points.
Yay!
Congratulations. Brilliant. So we are next here on... Oh, yeah, before we do that, if you've enjoyed the show, it is too late to bribe, but give us money anyway. We'd appreciate that. And if you want to see...
Help me pay off my HP overlord.
Make that a new Patreon tier reward. Just to pay off.
Help me pay off my minifigures.
I will set up a new Patreon tier that just says help our guests afford their poor decisions.
No, that'd be great, yeah. Live tickets.
Once a year with our poor decision. It's like a grant.
We have 2 live shows coming up. Next week we've got previews from Jen Ives and Paul Campbell. Tickets are available for that now, and also tickets are available for our Maiden May show with Jake Donaldson, Patrick Healy, and I forget who else, but also good people. And our next Broadcast Avalance stream is on May the 27th with Bobby Jones, Katie Mitchell, Craig Wilson, Sam C, Cameron Sinclair Harris, and Dan Webber, where we will be discussing the news events of May 2024, such as Rishi Sunak calls general election, but whispers it really quietly in the hopes that no one will actually realise it's happening and remember to vote. Lawrence Fox pays a further £90,000 to reputational damages he caused Billie Piper by ever being her boyfriend. And the Co-op Arena finally opens to the public, only for nobody to hear Peter Kay's set because they forget to install a sound system. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.